Hi, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the United States of a Movie podcast. We're the movie podcast that makes every Monday a fun day as we get together and we talk movies. But we have a point here at the United States of a Movie. We're trying to find one movie to define each state in these United States. We've already done one trip around the states. We're currently on our second, and today we're stopping off in the state of, double checks his notes, Indiana. Yep. Oh, I'm very excited. I'm very excited this week because it's one of those weeks that's reminded me that movies rule. I love movies and I can't wait to talk about it. But before we got there, we have to introduce my amazing co-host, the people that I love to talk to movies about. Just talk to, not,
That's fair.
At you. Not really listening to what they say, but I like to talk at them in general. As always, sitting in Phoenix, Arizona, Ryan Sander, welcome back to the show, buddy.
It's great to be here, and I'm happy we completed our hard trilogy of Walk Hard,
Hard Ticket to Hawaii,
Hard Ticket to Hawaii, or wait, our Rain movies, Purple Rain, Rain Man. We didn't do Rain Man yet.
We didn't do Rain Man.
We've got to get
all right.
hard
take it back. Still start over again.
Yeah, or take three.
Rain. It was Purple Rain, Hard Rain, and Rain Man, and Black Rain, which we haven't done.
Black Rain is the one that we watched but never did on the podcast.
Correct.
Want to because we're obsessed with it.
Yeah.
We'll get back to that one. And as always, sitting in the middle of his very own video store in Los Angeles, California, Will Hirsch, welcome back to the show.
So good to be here. Hard rating on all of you guys. Thank you. First of all, I just got to say thank you guys for introducing this movie to me, especially Ryan for introducing this. This is so insane. I can't wait to talk about it. Rudy, Rudy,
sure.
we'll get there. Yeah, sure.
We'll get there.
Little guy does football. What more do you need?
We got okay. Moving on to Hard Rain. My God.
Yeah, no, seriously. I'd never seen Hard Rain either. Spoiler alert, one of the movies we're doing this week is Hard Rain. The other one we're doing is Rudy. The champion from last time is Hoosiers. It gets a little bit interesting as well because Hoosiers and Rudy are directed by the same guy, which is like an interesting crossover. And then Hard Rain is from the writer of Speed, Broken Arrow, all this kind of stuff. So honestly, it's pretty much... Yeah, honestly, exactly. But I also want to talk about Hard Rain because I had never seen this movie either. This movie had been living in my head in movie jail. When it came out in 1998, I want to say, the reviews were somewhat like not great. People were just like, yeah, this movie, whatever, don't go and see it. So for the longest time, I've thought, oh, it looks cool, but no. And so only because I was forced to watch it, did we watch it. And as my notes go on, I'm loving this movie more and more and more. And I basically end up with the very last thing going, do I love this movie? Mm-hmm. Yes, I do. This movie fucking ripped.
Yeah. This was such a fun rediscovery for me because it was one of those movies that was on cable all the time. And I just would watch it constantly. And I think that like coming off the back end of like Speed and Dante's Peak and like very, very and Broken Arrow, like very similar movies of that time. Like this one just kind of like got swept away, because the water and the...
I don't get it.
Oh.
Yeah, no, we're coming from, and this is kind of what I was going to get into a little bit, is the 90s. We're Terminator 2 in 91, you had Heat in 95, Total Recall 90, 96 we had The Rock, 97 we had Face Off, Blade in 1998, Speed in 1994, GoldenEye, True Lies in 94, Mission Impossible, Die Hard with a Vengeance, Con Air,
all garbage.
Die Hard 2, Bad Boys. And I'm like,
are you just reading off of Will's DVD?
Yeah, just saying all the code words that's like set me off like the
to activate you.
Thing. Yeah,
the Winter Soldier style. Oh wait, no, Will's off again. So I feel like this movie, but the way it was described, I was like, oh my god, it's gonna be like Die Hard 2, which I love. But like it was going to be just sort of like a middling action thriller that was...
I called it Wet Speed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which, yes, is also what you call it when you masturbate. But it's this movie, though, I expected to go in and it just be the most formulaic thing. And that is the one thing it isn't. This
Yeah.
movie is
Yeah.
twisty, turny all through the movie. That
It's
I was being a dick at the beginning, going, "Oh wait, you wait, this is going to happen. Oh wait, you this is going to happen." And by the end, I'm like going, "Nice twist. Okay,
yeah.
all right, right. Are we? Is this? Oh,
I
that's happening now.
It's
Okay."
so funny you say that because for even for as many times as I've seen this movie, I forgot about the twist. I'm like, oh right, they're also bad. Like it's like, wait, what?
Mhm.
He's involved in the thing? It's crazy.
Yeah, and like, wait, now they're teaming up. I'm like,
Yeah.
it's giving you bits of Speed, and it's giving you bits of Broken Arrow, and it's giving you bits of Face Off, and I was like, going,
And it's almost shot like because I think John Woo was they wanted him to direct this movie, but it's still kind of shot like a
oh,
John Woo movie.
yes,
Very, very similar. Like, you know,
it's directed by John Who.
Yeah. Boo, John
Boo.
Woo.
Yeah, no, this was insane. I will say though, I kind of get why this was not regarded as a classic right away. Um, the because I was telling you guys I saw the Siskel and Ebert review beforehand. They did bring up something I thought about right at the very beginning where I'm like, this guys, is this really the plot? Which is okay. So they're trying. The plot of the movie is Ed Asner and Christian Slater are they work for a company that were an armor truck company. They're transporting money. There's a huge rainstorm. They got to get it somewhere, and it's like they're trying to protect this money. Is the whole deal? And as Ebert pointed out, that's stupid because the money is FDIC insured. It doesn't actually matter if anyone steals that money. Like, it's nobody's going to be out the money. It's all accounted for.
Shut up, Will.
so so the whole like we gotta defend it, like we gotta keep the money. It's like no. They actually train you not to do this.
Right.
Like
Try
this is
telling
the
that to
opposite
Jason
of your job.
Statham.
But that being said, I don't care. It was awesome.
But the
Like,
one thing I did
come on.
notice was you can count on one hand how many times someone is handcuffed to something.
The handcuff budget in this movie is
Yeah,
insane.
I was like, we're handcuffed again. But
We're getting ahead of ourselves.
but in every single one of those cases, they are finding new and interesting ways
Yeah.
to factor
Yeah.
in water raising, causing tension. I was
Dude,
like, fucking great.
I forgot just how unbelievable all of the practical stuff in this. I think we were talking
Oh.
about like not since like Crawl, which came out
Yeah.
many years after this, was like because Will, you said it, and I was thinking it the whole time like this looked like a fucking nightmare to make this movie.
Yeah, that's
must have been.
everybody's text was like, well, the movie
Miserable.
looks great.
Yeah.
It is a really good looking movie. But then, yes, you're going, cool, you're making an entire movie in water. Fucking hell. That's going to be, you better be getting paid.
But like I was still
Yeah.
thinking like did they build like that school scene or the church like or these
I'm gonna pump the brakes because we have a lot to talk about.
Right.
Because what I want to say, I'm going to take us all the way back to the beginning. So the director is Mikael Salomon. He's a Danish cinematographer turned director. I can tell he's a cinematographer because, like I said, this movie was very pretty, very John Woo
Jan de Bont
pretty.
steal his girlfriend or something?
Right. It was very cool. And honestly, I had a little bit of like concern when I was reading how it was a United States, United Kingdom, Denmark, Germany, Japan co-production. I like you see the presented by, and it goes presented by literally everybody.
Yeah.
But I want to talk about, and Ryan, you brought it up, is this movie starts with
Yeah.
one fucking hell of an establishing shot, which
Yeah.
also goes, by the way, here's the stakes. By the way, here we are, and by the way, here's
I had to rewind it
characters.
because it goes like from the dam. It's all one continuous shot, and
It's a helicopter shot that goes over a dam, flies over flood-ridden farmers trying to rescue their cows. A huge expanse of land covered in milky brown water that continues to track over the town. Then the camera cruises down Main Street, ending with a close-up of the Sheriff Randy Quaid. It's a combination of CG water, miniatures, clever compositing tricks, and live-action photography, and it is very
there was
good.
one shot that looked a little wonky, which is why I'm like, because when it's zooming into the cars driving, I was like, this looks a little
Yeah, I was thinking, is that a
off.
miniature? And then I was
but-
like, those are real people. And
Yeah.
I was like, it's
Yeah.
kind of Lord of the Rings kind of approach sometimes of the first
Super
one.
cool,
It was
yeah.
bloody great. I was bloody
Yeah.
brilliant. And I was
Yeah,
like, I was worried that we were like shooting our load right at the beginning, and now it's going to suck, right? And like, nope.
But
Right.
that was the thing I think we talked about on the last episode. Like when this movie came out, there was like Movie Magic was a TV show, and they would feature, up and coming films, and they talk about like the dam scene and them building like a 1/16th scale of this dam and actually like detonating it. And just which is funny because I thought that happens like at the beginning of the movie, setting off like, oh, this is
Yeah.
why flood.
Yeah.
And
Right.
it doesn't happen till much later. Like there's two major floods in this. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
and that's again a great sort of like thing of like, no, it's not just it's coming.
Yeah.
It's the dam has stages. Oh,
Yeah.
now we've got to release more water, so it's go. Now we've got to release, and now it fails. I'm like, there's 3 acts of just flooding
Yeah.
in this movie to then go on top. But yes, so like sort of Will was saying, the premise is very simple. Ed Asner and Kristen Slater are transporting money. They get trapped and they basically get held up by Morgan Freeman and his gang. And it sounds like it's a simple premise, and you go, all right, I guess it's just going to be action schlock from this point. It's not. It's top-notch action. It's inventive uses of the water to create tension.
Yeah.
And it's constant twists.
Oh, this movie is like fucking moving at 100 miles an hour from the jump. Like introducing Randy Quaid, who's like this fucking mayor guy, and
It's the
he's trying
sheriff.
to no, well, the guy in the car is the
It's
mayor.
and we're
Right.
learning that there's kind of like these
You learn so much.
underappreciated sheriffs going on. We learn about like Betty White and her husband are just like they're like we learn about them. We're
The
not
booby,
leaving.
they're just booby trapping their house.
Booby
'Cause
trapping
I
their
like
house for
how
fun.
often is this fucking town flooded where this is like a common occurrence? Like everyone
Yeah.
just seems like, oh, another fucking
Well, it was
flood.
the town is called Floodington. No.
Floodricksburg, yeah.
It's actually
Yeah.
Huntingburg, which
Huntingburg.
makes sense considering how much hunting actually goes down during this particular movie. But yeah, this was a first watch for me, and I ended it going, I'm probably gonna have to purchase this movie because I enjoyed the
Yeah.
ever living fuck out of it.
I kept saying this would have been like, our schedules didn't align, but to do a group watch of this, because I for some reason assumed you guys had seen it at least once before, but oh man,
Yeah,
it's
No.
been such a treat.
loved
It-
it.
Yeah, like I said, it's one of those movies you do kind of have to like go along with the plot. Like you kind of have to accept the premise. But if you do, there is a lot of like not just fun stuff, but a lot of really competent like action set pieces. The
Yeah.
jet ski in the school.
Crazy
Yeah.
sequence.
Dude, except
So
the premise,
good.
I was like that kid Levi
Yeah.
from Jesus Camp. I had accepted the premise as a child.
Yeah.
And I had
Yeah.
I'd let hard rain into
It's-
me, and I'm just here to preach the word of hard rain now.
You're right.
Yeah.
This doesn't do anything that like Cliffhanger didn't do, but to
Yeah.
see it in this practical flood setting, like the plot is basically bad guy want money. Like that's really it.
Yeah,
And
that's
like,
enough.
how do we
to-
kind of move the needle around? Like, but for them to set but to keep it super engaging for all of it. And again, like I can't get over how good the practical, like the flood stuff was, even when they're in the car and the car floats away. But
Yeah,
I
and
do
just
love
having
that
a conversation.
you get the
Yeah.
intro to Morgan Freeman's gang in the bar.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
I love his gang is failed school teacher.
A school
Who's-
teacher.
I'm sorry, whose students teach him how to make the bomb? Okay. That was
Yeah.
weird. Then
it
you
was the
have
90s.
then
Yeah,
you
where
have not Lawrence Fishburne who does like the
Yeah, all
Bible.
the
He's
Bible
just like the
quotes.
Bible quotes.
from the boys, right? That's where he's from, right?
Is that Mother's Milk?
He's Mother's Milk from
No
the boys.
fucking way.
Yeah, yeah.
Wondering why.
Oh,
He
he's
looks
so
exactly
young.
the same, which is why it freaks me out.
What?
Yeah, dude. I
Oh
was
my
sitting there going,
God.
I know this guy. And then,
Yeah.
and then they got a dumb white guy who's
Dumb
like,
guy.
he's so coded Florida. He's just like,
Yeah.
just firing guns up in the air and he's just
Yeah.
straight fucking.
Yeah,
It's
Like,
the
why?
biggest
the,
idiot.
The whole
Yeah.
time I'm thinking, like, why would you even have this moron in your gang? But it's established
gets
later that
explained.
it does. It
It
does.
just fucking but yeah,
Yeah.
I think one of my I was having fun with my notes at first, right? I was being a bit of a cocky guy that does a movie podcast, and I'm like, ooh, well, Ed Asner's gonna die soon. Not sure he could tempt fate anymore.
Yeah.
Dude keeps cocking his shotgun. He's just straight up ejecting shells, because I was like, dude,
Right.
you cocked it 3 times in the last 90 seconds. But then it kind of gets to jet ski chase through a school. Give whoever came up with that a fucking raise. And
Yeah.
that's when I stopped, I started really appreciating, no, this movie's actually going places.
And
Because
it's not like
that's
one hallway. It's like they
Yeah.
built like it looked like a
How did they
squeeze.
do that?
Yeah.
You know, did they
They
build a school? Did they
did
flood
they
a school?
flood a school? Yeah. I
That
don't know.
that is the only thing I could think of is that there must have been a school that had closed or something because they filled it with so much water. There's no way that
Yeah.
that was a functioning school after that. Like that
How do
had to
you
have
even do
been.
that? Like
Yeah,
it
it's
had
crazy. Like the other thing about it is like if this movie came out today, um, it would be like people would be like, "Oh my God!" Like they finally made like an action movie on par with like something from the '90s. So the fact that this got kind of like left behind,
Hmm.
it just
Mhm.
shows you what an embarrassment of riches we had.
Oh
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
when it comes to
No,
action
dude.
movies, like
And to your point, I would take fucking Hard Rain over any of the schlock that like action movie CGI bullshit they just dump onto a streamer. Like
oh
this
yeah,
had like this was just genuinely fun.
And
like
I
this
like,
over like a working man, like any day
Yeah.
of the
yeah.
week, like
Yeah. Well,
you
it's
know,
just, and the whole time it's raining, but it looks great, and the way they use light looks great. The way
yeah,
the stuff that they're doing with cameras, like be it underwater or over, or you know, like
Yeah.
they're in bringing fire into it and everything else, bringing electrics into it.
Yeah.
And like you were saying, just the other stuff that, and so often you're going, that's the actor. You know,
Mhm.
Yeah.
when they're driving the boat, when they're on the jet skis, when they're going through the school, all the time. I'm
Mhm.
like, that's just them
When
doing it for
Christian
real.
Slater like jumps the jet ski through the window,
Yeah.
I
It's
did
like,
had to squint. I'm like, is
because
that him?
yeah, because I was like, well, they can't do face replacement in 1998, and I'm like,
right.
that looks exactly like Christian
Tom
Slater.
Tom Cruise wasn't as busy back then, so he just hopped on there. He's like, fuck it. But yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's like just to it's so good. But yeah, am I misremembering? Is he related to Ed Asner?
yes,
Okay, it's like his uncle or something like
yes,
that that
and
gets
that
him
comes
job.
out
Okay,
later in the movie, and then,
right,
so then
right.
so now we've got emotional stakes, and
Mhm.
it's like, and it's almost like, look, ladies and gents, if you haven't watched this, we're telling you to watch it, but we're going to get into spoiler territory. Look, it's not like we're spoiling The Sixth Sense or anything like that, but it's just
Which I
FYI.
will do now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's just this, because like the twist coming later of like, wait, he's also knows, you know, Morgan Freeman, and
Yeah,
like, and then Morgan
he was in
Freeman's
on it,
looking
right?
after this
Yeah,
kid, and it just gives actual stakes.
yeah.
It
Mhm.
gives actual reason why people are doing it, and like, in even though, like you said, Ryan, that Morgan Freeman's full like motivation, and in fact, half the characters in this movie's motivation is greedy man wants money.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They find a way of making it okay. Like
Mhm.
by the end, I'm like, you know, my last like thing is spiritually, and like from a moral standpoint, I'm okay with this end.
Yeah.
Yep, well played. Can't believe you
It's
did
like
that.
I like to think Morgan Freeman left Ziwa Tanea just to he's like, well, Tim Robbins, we're out of money. I'm back to my old ways.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have
He's got
bet,
the boat and he just goes. He's like,
if this thing was on Polymarket, I would have bet $1,000 that Morgan Freeman was going to end up on that Civil War statue sword. The amount of
They
times,
set it up to
like,
like,
Yeah.
and they set it up for something, and then I go to the bed, I go, that's what it was for, son of a bitch. But like
Yeah.
they kept faking me out like constantly, and I just love it when a movie does that.
yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, like as much as you can have fun going, called
For a
it.
movie like this that normally would
Yeah.
be fucking one note.
There was
No.
none of the low hanging fruit. It was like,
No.
no, that's underwater. No, we're going for the high hanging fruit because it's been
Yeah.
flooded. And I'm like,
I mean, they flood the fucking police station. They flood the church. They flood the school. They flood the dam. Like
they flood
that
the
thing
house
gets
that
flooded.
Minnie Driver's in later.
Right. That which is crazy.
And then it
I do
starts
like
flooding.
later on. I know we're jumping ahead. We'll go back to the thing, but the one guy who's left behind to run the dam. How he discovers it's being flooded, he's just taking a shit and he sees the water coming. I'm like, dude, how long have you been in there?
Right.
Right.
Well, he
Like-
was reading a magazine about guns.
That is true.
Yeah. It's, you
Which
know.
again, great character set up for what actually ends up happening later.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, I was calling things like, I was like going, oh, the sheriff's going to be dead. Christian Slater's going to use the ankle holster to save the day. I was like, oh, bad guy's going to be impaled on that sword. And it's like every one of my predictions was wrong.
Yeah.
You know, every single one. And I was like so gleeful by the end of it, of just, and I think I texted you guys. I was like, this is a 2.5 hour movie in 90 minutes. More
Yeah.
Yeah, they
happens
pack in a
this.
lot.
And it's
Yeah.
never nonsensical. It's
Right.
never like, you know, it's not like the Rise of Skywalker, which feels like watching a movie and fast forward. It's just like,
Right.
it's still paced. It's just
I
how is there still this movie still going?
it is funny to me that Minnie Driver's agent has Minnie Drivers in this movie. Her agency is just like, oh no, my stained glass church windows. I have to get back to them.
Yeah.
Right. She just finished like restoring the church.
Well,
But
the thing
yes,
is,
so
no. But real quick, I love that, right?
Yeah,
Because
it's
yeah.
great.
the whole church thing, and it's there throughout, and it's the entire motivation for her character. That the end of the movie is three jokes about it, and that's how we then freeze frame credits. Is like
I,
Christian Slater going, "Oh well, this, but then this." But honestly, it didn't matter after this. And like I was like, this is funny. You actually
It
ended
cut-
on a funny joke. That movie's like you didn't have to sort of stop
No.
and then credits. Like that was a good callback. You know what I
it's
mean?
a crazy ending to this movie. Like it's so, in retrospect, I feel like they just kind of ran out of juice, but honestly, it
Right.
worked. They don't need
Yeah, what else is there to say? You
Yeah.
know, it's the
like they a freeze
the
frame of
credits.
each character where they show like what they're doing currently. Like Morgan
Right.
Freeman, like
Yeah, yeah.
skitters away with what looks like, I don't know how much money's in those bags, like 50 grand. Like
Yeah, but like,
Yeah,
let's
I was-
say look at Speed and how that ends. I guess we'll just have to base it on sex.
it's the
credits.
exact same fucking ending of
Yeah,
Speed where
pretty
she's
much.
handcuffed to the thing.
Yep.
But it's not. It's so much more. There's so much more intensity because it's her with her little Allen wrench screwdriver and just going up the thing.
Oh, I mean,
Like,
that's
it's
when
great.
I was like, the amount of times that the Swiss Army knife,
Yeah,
like
that was such a
rescues the
funny
day. I was
bit.
like, was this also a Swiss production? And the Swiss government was like, you have
Yeah.
got to put
Yeah.
the knife in
Product
there.
placement. Yeah.
Yeah,
I really appreciated too that Christian Slater's character was not a
former
full
cop. Right?
SAS
Yeah,
like
yeah.
When he
bad
said,
like
oh,
No,
Yeah. When he said, "Oh, I used to spend years," and I go, "Here it is, being a special forces guy, working construction," I went, "Huh."
Yeah. It's really kind of refreshing because it's like my biggest gripe with action movies these days is like there's such a fear of like, well, we can't have an average guy be the star of an action movie. It's got to be, The Rock who's been like he's a Navy SEAL in 3 tours, and I'm just like, yeah, I know that guy can
right.
handle
Yeah.
bad guys. Like, come on.
It's like no
I
one
mean,
ever
Christian
watched Die
Slater.
Hard. We can't have a
Right,
normal
right.
guy doing. I'm like, it's
Yeah.
the point of fucking Die Hard.
Christian Slater is such a normal, like non-action star energy in this, and he's,
Mhm.
at the very beginning when he's with Ed Asner, he's got like this snarky attitude, but he's grateful that he has this job, I guess. I
Mhm.
mean,
Mhm.
even though he's like, I'm gonna quit, or Ed Asner's gonna, I don't fucking remember. if
I
he
do
does.
like his line where he's like this glorious 3-figure salary.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's great. Yeah.
And he's talking about like, yeah, we get this incredible like, cheap like uniform to wear. It's like it was
Mhm.
again good banter. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, as in it was just it was fun. And
Yeah.
look, this was Siskel and Ebert gave it 2 thumbs down, and Total Film called it the biggest flop of 1998. And I'm like, and it flopped hard.
Yeah.
It flopped hard.
Or- yeah.
$70 million budget, made 20 million. And I'm like, I think like
Oof.
Will, like you were saying, I just think
Mhm.
we man, the time we were spoilt. We were just
Yeah.
Yeah.
just spoiled with the riches. We were like Smaug, just rolling around on just all these amazing action movies, and we're like, no, I don't want Hard Rain. No, thumbs
Yeah.
down. Give it to the peasants.
And it's
Yeah.
it's such a shame with how much heart and soul went into making this movie.
Yes,
That's the worst
Yeah.
part.
I would be
Like-
proud of this movie if
Yeah.
I was involved in
Mhm.
this movie, directed this movie. I would just want to be a background guy in this movie. Go, you seen Hard Rain? This movie fucking
So
ruled."
much so that like the town was proud of this. There's a feature on their local news where they were talking about big stars coming into town and they're showing them shooting it there. And I think the original title of this was just called The Flood.
The Flood,
which,
yes.
which is bit on the nose.
Yeah, well,
On
they
the
were, like-
nose, definitely not as good.
Well, they
on the
changed
title.
it because, like, they were confused, and I think they didn't want people to be confused, and I think they are right that it's like a disaster movie because it's not.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
more like it's more a sort of like action movie in the middle of Dante's Peak.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. Which is a great premise. I think like Hurricane Heist is another one that's pretty much the exact same movie,
Premise,
just
yeah.
way shittier. Yeah.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
did not look good, and that's from the guy that directed Cliffhanger. Which
Yeah.
is like, yeah, I know. Oh, by the way, Will, your dog has
Oh,
your
Achilles.
neighbor's
Oh,
dog
yes.
has just turned up. It's been a long time since
I
like,
know.
our fourth host has been featured.
Achilles has been pretty quiet recently, but at least when we're recording, he's very vocal the rest of the day.
Hang on a second. I've just put something together. Your neighbors named the dog Achilles. Is it so they can go, Achilles, heel?
Wow.
I think
Wow.
I don't think they're sharing that info with me because I might
That's
drive a
all
car
I
and
would
strike
ever
his
shout
house.
with a dog like, Achilles, heel. Good God. That's
Ugh.
100% why they did it.
Ugh.
Dump
Good
it,
Lord.
dump it. This one's trash. Let's just start over.
God, can you develop like gallbladder cancer just by hearing a pun? I think oh God. Ugh.
Jesus, Will.
Woof.
But like, you look, hang on. Like, say for example, Hard Target is regarded as a better movie than this, and like,
Oh, it is, but
right,
yeah.
but it's also not. It also is because it's John Woo
Yeah.
and the action's incredible, right? But
Mhm.
like the story is somewhat ridiculous and
I think,
nonsensical, and then
yeah,
this is
but
inventive and like surprising, and it's
yeah,
like, ugh,
I think that's what elevates this
no
for
one's
me is
got
like this
faces
stands
coming
out.
off.
Yeah, I like this movie a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, it is so simple. So their armored truck gets stranded. They call the Coast Guard. Then Morgan Freeman's
National
gang
Guard.
rocks
The
the
National
National Guard. Coast. What did I say? Coast Guard?
Coast
Coast
Guard, yeah,
Well, it's water. It's the same fucking
yeah,
thing.
it makes sense to me.
Yeah.
The Coast Guard base in Indiana.
Two guards? Yeah. I don't know how the government works.
Right now, no
Morgan
one really
Freeman-
does
Yeah,
that.
the government doesn't either. Yeah.
It's on par. But yeah, their gang rocks up. Ed Asner gets shot fucking brutally, and
Yeah.
but again, like the sneaking thing, they get up to because they're like a decent amount of water away. They run off. They get to the van. They do the classic like come around both sides. I thought they were just gonna shoot each other.
Yeah.
Then he goes to blow up the back of the thing, which is curiously already open. What happens? His character has stolen all the money and then goes to desecrate a grave to bury it.
Yeah.
That was his real former career. He's like, I used to desecrate graves. I still do, but I used to also. Yeah. And that's what kicks off the whole thing. And they fucking arrested, like, who bonks him on the head? Oh, then he finds the church. Mini Driver bonks him on the head. He wakes up and he's in jail.
And then the cops, so we've got perfectly normal person Randy Quaid, essentially playing Randy Quaid. One of his, we've got the rapist from Shawshank Redemption playing character again. And then we've got the kind of like the extra dumb cop that loves Mini Driver. But then like it's all coded that these guys are kind of going to get involved and that these guys are going to be the ones that die, while sort of like Kristen Slater's kind of helping out. That's I knew the movie was getting interesting. Like I said, the outside of like the already very impressive like school action scene, I was like, that's cool. The jet ski, very cool. The way they're using the fact that you could just lie on the floor and those things could go over you. It's just being inventive.
Yeah.
But this one was like the whole scene, which always reminded me of Hot Shots Part 2, where he's trying to get the key to get himself out.
Yeah.
How, like in Hot Shots Part 2, like, all the mess.
Yeah.
But he goes through all that effort, and it's like to get the key.
And how does he get out?
And
like,
then it's car keys, and he goes, I guess I can just drive my way out of here. And
Yeah.
then, so now we've got, then suddenly the flood's going. You're like, oh, this is clever, because he's now trapped. Now he's really
the
trapped.
telephone pole like smashes into it, and he's
what a
still
shot.
can't get out of there.
And then then I was like, what's
Who's
he gonna
tense,
do?
dude?
What's he gonna do with the torch? And he comes up with that solution.
Yeah, he empties
And
the
then
batteries.
we won't say what happens, but I was like, this one I was
starts
like,
deep throating it.
yeah.
Got a couple minutes left.
If I'm gonna go out, I mean.
He died how he lived.
Yeah.
Again, but that's my respect for the movie just kept growing and growing and growing, and like when it just got to surprising moments of like, again, I was criticizing the movie, like there's a huge transformer and they're like, oh, we got to get out the water, and I'm like, you dumb motherfuckers, you're standing on a metal antenna. And the character goes, what the fuck? We're an idiot. We're standing on a metal antenna. I go, yes.
He's like, oh, the movie heard me.
It's
Yeah.
not a movie mistake. It's like, oh, let's not be idiots. And it's like, it just.
But in that moment, you're gonna grab on it and try and climb anything you can.
Yeah.
But then it's when the bad guy climbs on it, they're like, and he's still like, dude, you got to get the fuck off of there. It's metal. And the dumb gang guy whose job is dumb, like,
Yeah.
it was perplexing how dumb he was.
He was a little
Annoyingly
dumb.
dumb. Like-
Yeah, just not two brain cells to rub together. Although when I was kind of surprised when Morgan Freeman and the gang found him and he was still
alive,
alive.
kind of alive,
floating
much
down.
crispier, and
And then what did we get? We got an actual really sort of heartfelt moment of Morgan Freeman with the guy dying, and he's just like, because he's promised his dad he'd look after him, kind of
That's where you
thing.
get the
Yeah.
And he
regular.
gets
Oh,
like an
shit.
emotional death moment with
Yeah.
Morgan Freeman doing some real fucking acting, and I'm like going,
Yeah.
what is this movie? Because there was one point at the
What are
beginning.
these feelings I'm feeling?
Yeah, I know. What is I'm hard raining from my eyes. And it's like Christian Slater did two one-liners when they like the guy, watch your step, and they're like, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, it's gonna be this movie. No, because like he stopped with the one-liners after that one. Because I was like,
Yeah.
when the guy got
Yeah.
electrocuted, I'm like, where's the one-liner? Shocking, positively shocking. Come
Yeah.
on. But you know what? I'm glad they didn't actually. I like the
Yeah.
approach.
Yeah.
Although it is the serious version of that scene from Loaded Weapon 1 where he's, I can't feel anything. You're going to make it. You'll be
Yeah,
just
yeah.
You'll be
fine.
just fine.
Zip,
Corner zipper, yeah.
bro. It is absolutely that scene played seriously.
The comedy
there.
timing of that. I know we
Yeah,
talked
that was
about it probably
great.
for half an hour when we did Loaded Weapon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The comedy
It's
timing,
so
you'll
good.
be just fine. Zip,
Yeah.
yoink.
Dunk.
It's one of the best movie jokes I've ever seen. Oh my god! And I love that you mentioned that Gator movie that we did. That
Crawl,
European
yeah.
made
Oh, yeah.
Gator movie. What was it called again? I know you mentioned.
Crawl.
Yeah. Because at this point, I was enjoying the movie so much that I went, "Does Indiana have gators? This movie needs some gators." Because I'm just like this movie. I realized was set like, no man, they are using the water really really well, and
Yeah.
it just kept going and going and going.
I like the bit
honestly
when Morgan Freeman's gang, they go to steal the boat
Mhm.
and they go up to the hardware store, which just casually has like a giant fucking speedboat, but they shoot
Sure.
they shoot multiple windows. There's a lot of like glass shooting in this.
Yeah.
And you get the dumb guy who's like, "Hey, should we take the car too?" And they're just, I mean, it's crazy how just stupid this guy is. But
Yeah.
it's not even in like a charming kind of way, like.
They
But
even-
he's kind of sweet, like he's a sweet dum dum, even though
Yeah.
he kills that Asner.
Sweet Dum Dum, but yeah, I mean, but then we introduce like we are like 2/3 into the movie. If I can't tell, honestly, I couldn't tell time watching this movie because I was having such a good time. But we get introduced to Betty White and her husband's murder house. They're breaking into this house, but what they get Betty White playing such a dick. She is
Yeah.
such a dick, and like she's
To her
just-
husband, yeah.
Yeah, she's
Right.
such a nag. And he had those like the comedy moments. If you got one where like Christian Slater's being loaded into the boat and she's just bitching about the boat, she's bitching about the curtains, and he just turns to the other guy and he goes, "Do you just want to come with me?" And he,
Yeah, and he's considering it. He's like,
But I
is
like the
Huh.
turn when they meet up with the gang later and he lets them leave. Like
this is my favorite part of the movie.
Yeah.
he, like he's working with them to they're leaving and he's like, "You want me to turn this boat around?"
Well, no, like because they're
Oh,
like
sorry, yeah.
basically Christian Slater negotiates their release. Going,
Negotiates,
I
that's
will
the word I
take
was
you
looking
to the money, and they go, all right. I was surprised they didn't just shoot them. Like I said, like Morgan Freeman's character has growth in this movie that you end up really liking.
Yeah, normally, yeah, for sure.
And it's like, he's not one, he's just not one thing, he's many. But like, yeah, there's a bit where the old guy is like kind of rowing away and she's like, can you row faster? And she's just bitching. And the guy just does a 360 and he's like, I'm gonna go back and have them kill us. And like, do you want me to do this? She says, no. Then shut the fuck up. And I just like
Betty White gets so fucking horny after that.
I was just like, thank you, sir.
Yeah.
You've said the
Yeah.
one thing that everyone watching the movie has said at least once about.
The guy was just a fucking punching bag the whole time.
Yeah, I love that line too. Like they'll either shoot you or they'll shoot me. I don't care. Like,
But
In
then
my mind,
they
I'm like,
end
was
up
that the
having-
only? Is that the only F-bomb in this movie?
Yes,
That's the only
it
one I
is.
could think of.
They
right?
saved
Okay.
it. They saved it for us, and it was like, yeah, no,
Is this
this the one.
PG-13?
I don't know. I wonder.
I
looked
think
that
so.
up. It's,
Yeah.
yeah, it was the only it was the only one. I guess.
I think that might have also played into like why it wasn't like a bigger success. Because if it was PG-13, I know studios are like, we opened it up to a wider audience, but to the audience that goes to see that, if you're like, hey, we're doing a PG action movie, you've kind of like lost
Yeah, part of you
that
like,
audience.
But even you're
It
not
didn't
wrong.
feel
but even,
PG-13.
no, like,
No,
at
no.
all. No, like I can't even imagine like if you had an R rating on this, it would only be because of language.
Yeah, I mean, honestly,
Yeah.
it felt like The Rock, and The Rock has language
Yes.
throughout, right?
Right.
It is just constant. It's Michael Bay.
Yeah.
It's like, guys, get as close to as racial as we can.
Right.
Let's go. Like I said, one of my the most Michael Bay moment of Michael Bay for me is that opening scene in Bad Boys, where basically the first line we get from Bad Guys. It's
Yeah.
titty titty strutty strutty, and I go, Michael Bay, come on, man, come
Yeah, he's a
on.
perfect filmmaker.
Yeah,
Yeah.
put that on my put that on my tombstone.
But this movie's got like moments like there's a bit later where school teacher bad guy gets it right, and
Mhm.
it goes through the glasses, and then the
Oh, good
glasses
shot.
fall off, and then they go down onto a
Mhm.
grave where it says R.I.P. And I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck you, movie.
Yeah.
That's
It's
a
very
great
like
shot.
Yeah.
it's very much like I kept thinking this director felt like he would be in like Michael Bay's second unit, doing
Yeah.
like pickup for him. Like this whole movie feels like a scene in a Michael Bay movie, if that
Mhm.
makes sense.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, your
No.
Jan
But
de
it
Bont
rules.
reference,
Oh, yeah.
because
Yeah.
Jan shot Speed and went on to do
Right.
Twister, Will's favorite movie.
Mhm.
But like in this case,
1989. Yeah.
98, yeah.
but in this case, I feel like yeah, this guy he elevated. Like they
Yeah.
brought something to this day. I think there was like the exact opposite of what we were talking about last week with the messengers, where like you get to the screenwriters, there's 10 names, and they've all when like I said, I was worried. Oh my God, there's all these producers. There's gonna be too many chefs in the kitchen. I was like, okay, you know what? Even if there were, they cooked. This meal
Yeah.
is delicious. I'll take
Sometimes-
seconds.
It's go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, sometimes, I'm just because I know the writing side of the business and how that works. I am a little cautious to prejudge stuff when it's like you see a dozen writers attached to something because that, I think most people are like, oh, that means the movie's in trouble. I do want to put it out there. Casablanca also had like a dozen writers, and that's probably the greatest movie ever made.
Absolute dog
And
shit.
you
Oh.
cannot. Yeah.
Couldn't even do it in color.
But I think I think in this case, it does work out. Like sometimes there is like a method to the madness of how Hollywood makes its movies. And I'll say what I really appreciate about this movie is because I did have the thought is I was like, we're kind of losing bad guys like kind of quick, and we got a
Yes.
lot of runtime left. So as the movie kept going on, I'm like, how are they going to keep this going for another 45 minutes? And when that twist happens, I was like, oh,
Yeah.
I thought we were going somewhere completely different with this.
Right?
Yeah, and then I followed. We're like, wait, are we gonna team up with the? We're teaming up with the bad guy.
Yeah,
It's like,
And they kiss.
it's just This is I'm looking at my notes. I'm just getting more and more excited. I'm like, oh, and now the levee will break. Do I love this movie? And it's like,
Yeah.
and then it's like, oh my God, now the alarm. This movie rips.
Yeah,
And
you
I'm
get the
just-
klaxons from the
Yeah.
thing being flooded, then the klaxons stop, and he's like, "Oh no, what is that?
That's
it's-
got to be
it's-
worse.
How much
because-
time do we have?"
No, because they do that really. They involve both two different scenes. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
do you reckon that's bad? Cut to the other people talking, and someone goes, "That's very bad." And it's like,
Yeah.
they involved us on two scenes happening on either side of the town, but they had one guy from one scene answer the other guy from the
Yeah,
other scene.
yeah,
I love that. I was like,
great.
going, that's clever. Well done.
Mhm. Yeah, I
just so
think
much-
I think this movie does suffer from like the diehardification of movies post Die Hard. Like,
Yeah.
Cliffhanger is Die Hard on a mountain, Speed was Die Hard on a bus, and this is very much, a copy of a copy of a copy. So I can
Yeah.
understand why people didn't respond as well to it. But again, like rediscovering this fun 90s classic, like I adore this movie.
Yeah.
And we'll watch it again.
Yeah, I mean, like it's we get to that dick, the guy that was working in the in the levee.
Who's an
Yeah.
expert hunter because
Yeah.
he's got a scope on his rifle, who's kind of a terrible shot.
Yeah, well, it's hard
Yeah.
to shoot from a boat.
Yeah, I was wondering that
you
too.
know, unless
Yeah.
unless you're in that black exploitation movie we did, Coffee, or I can't remember what it was called.
No.
What was
I
that?
can't remember
my
it either.
God,
It was
it's
not
her
Coffee.
name.
It was the other
It's-
one. Pam Grier, but it was
Yeah,
Sheba Baby.
yeah, Sheba Baby. She did some pretty impressive boat shooting in that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, I'm like, oh, we blew that motherfucker all the way up. When they killed him real good. Like
Yeah.
he went into orbit.
It was awesome.
And I was like, that's great.
I'm a big proponent of if you got to kill a bad guy, please blow him up in a
Yeah,
movie
blow-
because
blow
that
him up
is the
real
best.
good. That's actually how
Yeah.
my father-in-law describes movies. Like, so
Mm-hmm.
we were talking at breakfast. We'd been talking about the Knives Out movies and stuff, and we said, "Oh, you haven't seen it, you should watch it." And so he goes, "Oh man, I watched Knives Out. It was good. Not my kind of movie, because you know me. I like it when stuff blows up good." but it was still a good movie.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's all he likes.
I mean,
Well,
it movies like that peaked at the ending of MacGruber, where he just fucking blows him up and then shoots him as he's falling down the mountain and then pisses on him.
Yeah.
But it's Will Forte's delivery of "fuck you, dude." It's just great.
God,
It's
what a
like,
great
yeah.
movie. What state does that take place in?
That's a very good point.
Yeah, true.
A state of being kind of high. But yeah, then like the scene, like I said, the Mini Driver. Then we've got her trapped to a banister on stairs. And she's got a constant roadblock.
Well, you got to understand, she's handcuffed to that post like sexual assault. Like the
Yeah.
guy,
Yeah.
the cop that handcuffs her, and they have a history too. Like they went to high school together because he's got a line that says, "You never kind of gave me a chance in high school," or something fucked up where you're just like, "Oh yeah, this is a small town. All of these people kind of know each other,"
Mhm.
and like that was fucked up.
Yeah.
So she kills him.
Yeah, in a very
Right?
fun way. Again, in a way that's been established with something that was
Because she's
established
got
an
the
hour
tool.
before,
Yeah.
which is also the same thing that she's using to escape. It's like then
Right.
you know, like it's little things like Chris, like they solve a problem and then the problem doesn't like it's not a solution because he like gets the thing,
God, when he
he
gets back to
immediately
the
breaks,
house,
and he's like,
he-
well, that didn't work. You know,
she's handcuffed to the thing. He's like, "Hey, do you have a saw?" She's like, "Yeah, it's downstairs in the kitchen." And then he
like 10
goes,
feet
and he
underwater.
goes,
Okay.
gets the thing, comes back, goes to saw it. Saw immediately breaks, and he's like,
Yeah.
"Huh? Do you have a gun?" She goes, "Yeah, it's right over there," or something like that. I'm like,
Yeah.
"Why didn't you fucking say that before?"
Yeah, it's like even saying stuff like that,
They
dude.
have good chemistry in this too.
Yes, well,
Yeah.
look, Mini Driver is just someone who's
Yeah.
just got effortless
Yeah.
charisma.
Will and I both had the same joke that they, like the
Go on.
existence of Mini Driver applies the existence of Maximum Driver.
Yeah.
Which
Mega
ended
Driver.
all the way
Mega-
up at the Betty White
Mega
joke.
Driver,
and one
yeah.
of the, you know, yeah, I've just been laughing at the thread all day of you guys.
That was
coming
fun,
up with
yeah.
17
Yeah.
different versions of this.
I will
What
say,
was the
had
Randy
we,
Quaid one, and it was like not Randy, whatever it was. Oh my god.
Randy Chastity. Yeah. 'cause-
Chastity
no,
Quaid.
Chastity Quaid. That's what it was.
So stupid.
So dumb.
that's what I was to say. Had we group watched this, we wouldn't have had this insane text chain today,
Yeah.
which was really the only thing keeping me going.
Yeah.
So here you go. This is interesting. So you know what? We actually kind of called it the whole Yanderbont sort of like growing up from Speed sort of vibe, getting into a movie. Mikael Salomon, the director, the Danish director, was hired to direct this film because he had worked with James Cameron on The Abyss. So he had so much
So,
experience
okay, so
working
that's
on
why.
water-filled sets.
He was the
and stuff
guy
like
who had
that.
to wipe the camera off.
That might have been him. That's his cameo.
Jesus.
Oh my god.
Okay, this is ridiculous. All right.
God,
This
Is it
but
all
that
is it
mean-
all water movies? Did he
yeah.
do Waterworld and
Well, no. This is just a ridiculous. Like, so apparently,
Waterboy.
I'm understanding why this movie like got its buzz. Waterboy. Christian Slater's contract for the film stated that his body temperature should never be allowed to drop more than 0.1 degree. Okay, Christian Slater, as a producer, did not want to be cold. So to accommodate this, all fake rain was kept 1 degree above body temperature. So the film's heating budget was triple the special
God.
effects budget.
What's crazy is that none of this, barring the interiors, really looked like they shot in a studio.
But they had like
know?
they had to have built fucking tanks, and I'm like,
Right.
looking up, they
Yeah.
did.
For
it
sure.
never felt limited, ever.
No.
There was only one shot
so
that I
deep.
clocked that was clearly like a like there's two, I should say two in the very beginning when Randy Quaid is in the city and it's kind of raining in the background. That felt like
Yes,
a backdrop.
the gray background behind his
That- it
hat.
felt- it
the
was just
special
blurry
effect,
enough,
there
I'm
was-
like, huh,
you could see
that-
the line
right.
where there's sort of like
That and then when they set the church on fire with like a Molotov cocktail, like in one scene it just looks like they just superimposed a flame on top of it. But then later they really had it on fire. So I was like, that was
It must have been like a pickup or something they
Yeah,
needed
for
like
sure.
later.
So
Yeah.
so listen to this. There's more. So this is like okay, all right. It's the more you hear about it, the more you. Anyway, Minnie Driver said she hated working on the movie, as you would because of the
Understandable.
constant things. Morgan Freeman disliked the movie and said years later, "Did any of you see this? Don't, just don't." You're wrong, Morgan. You're wrong. It was a good movie and you were great in it. But its executives were so fearful of an outbreak of Legionnaire's disease while filming that they insisted all pipes used for water effects were flushed every hour. Technical crew were like, well, they're constantly flushing because of the flow of water. Fell on deaf ears because, you know, Hollywood executives know everything, as we have found out many, many times during this podcast. So the resulting insistence of pausing production hourly made the movie go over budget by $50 million and was completed 16 months later than planned.
Ooh, yeah, that'll do it.
Ouch.
Mm.
Now I understand why there was bad vibes around this movie when it came out. Well, it worked, guys. It was worth
Yeah.
it. There was it turns out no actual risk of Legionnaire's disease. So that was a $50 million mistake.
This movie didn't make all its money back on Laserdisc? This is
So
such a fucking Laserdisc movie.
So wait, so the budget, so are you saying 50
Yeah,
million
50.
and the budget was like 70 million?
70. Yeah. So it was a $20 million movie
Oh
that
my
made $19
God.
million. You know, but when there
So
you go.
so this would have been just like, hey, it made its money back had
Yeah.
oh my God.
Yeah.
That's shitty. And yet, Twister, 92 million. Sorry, Twister 1989.
Yeah, is it the same producers? I'm telling you, we're gonna uncover this money fleecing
So
scheme.
John Woo was attached. Sam Raimi was considered.
Ooh.
And producers wanted to hire Jerry Goldsmith to write the film score, who we'll be talking about
I
shortly.
did think the because I had to look too. I'm like, God, this movie feels like fuck. Because we talked like we joked at the editor of this movie,
Oh,
Uncle Polly.
yeah, the editor of this movie has my dad's name.
Yeah.
And he's the editor of he was one of the editors of Star Wars.
I
Which
looked up his thing. It was Star Wars, Mission Impossible. It was just a ton of like
pretty much
bad-
any movie you've heard of
Yeah.
prior to the year
Empire
2000.
Strikes Back, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Mission Impossible, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, Footloose, Carrie, Falling Down. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every movie prior to the year 2000, he pretty much edited.
Mhm.
So,
It's amazing.
yeah.
Oh, we did Source Code. Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol. The
Mhm.
last thing he did was The Mummy, which was the one that no one saw.
Ugh.
The one that's coming out?
No, the Tom Cruise one
Oh.
from 2017. That I've
Yeah.
watched a lot of Tom Cruise.
I would
movies,
also
but
retire.
Never
Yeah.
watched that one.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. We never got the
The dark,
The
dark
Dark Universe.
dark and twisted universe. God.
So yeah, look, there's not much more to say about this movie apart from it rules. Seriously, we would absolutely recommend this.
Yeah.
for a fun
The
watch.
version you guys watched, because I had to watch it on Amazon because I had a very limited window in which I could watch this. So I rented it there. The version you guys saw, was the picture kind of squished at all?
Negative.
Okay, so if you're gonna watch this on Amazon, just be aware the version they're using, I guarantee you it's a rip from a DVD
Hang on.
because
Next
the quality's
time
better.
You're
Yeah.
doing it on Amazon. I think I've had this problem. I rented a movie and I realized 2 minutes in, I'm like, this is wrong. I
Mhm.
just exited and started it again and it
Mm.
fixed the aspect ratio. Sometimes
Okay.
the app just glitches.
Well,
So,
now you
like,
get
if
to
you've
watch
still
it
got the
again.
rent, if you've still got it for
Yeah,
rent
yeah.
or available, go back and try again.
Yeah.
I'll check it out. But I did notice that, and also the sound glitched a couple times, and it was not my internet. I had to go back and watch. It was the
My
exact same
Amazon
spot.
app does that on my TV too, where it just like drops audio for a frame or two.
But yeah, no,
It wasn't
the
that.
one
It
I
was
watched-
it was a little
Oh.
like you'd hear a little spark, and then the volume would be really low for like 3 seconds, and you jump back up.
No.
And it's the kind of error I would hear on DVDs when they were like getting messed up.
Mhm.
So that's
Ah.
why I'm like, this is a transfer from a DVD, and nobody's fixed it.
It's actually not even like it's kind of like they're saying that they're admitting now that a lot of these like self-driving cars, when they have a problem, are actually being driven by someone in the Philippines. You know?
Yes.
But
Yeah.
when you rented
Ugh.
that on Amazon, what someone
Someone's-
someone in the Philippines put it in a DVD. And
Yeah,
pressed
someone was
play
like, "Oh
for you.
God!"
It just cuts to like a live puppet show of them reenacting the movie.
The future's
but
so
no.
great, you guys. Like,
The version that I saw looked great.
okay,
You know, like I genuinely was like, this movie looks cool.
Yeah.
It's fun. It has a great opening shot, and it never lets off the gas. It's a great classic '90s movie that I think more people should
Yeah, it's an interesting one because the bad guy kind of wins. Like,
kind of. But you're
Right.
okay with it by that
it's
point.
it's the Fast and Furious like ending where
Yeah.
he does
the
the
hero
Jeremiah
and the
Johnson
criminal.
nod.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, and I was kind of wondering as the movie was going on, I'm like, they're making Morgan Freeman a little too sympathetic. Like he's got too much of a conscience. So I was like, where are they going with this? And so when the twist happens, I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, this is where we're going with this.
I
It's
dug
gonna,
it. Oh,
it's
I
gonna
Well,
be
'cause even
point
at-
break Fast and Furious ending.
Even at the
Gotcha.
beginning, the very, very beginning, like when they're overtaking the armored truck, he's like, "Get your firearms ready and don't be a cowboy," or say something like that.
Mhm.
And the guy shoots him. Like, I'm like, well, you told him to get your gun ready. Like, This is on
Right.
you, pal.
Mhm.
Like, what did
Yeah.
you think this fucking dum-dum was gonna do?
Yeah. You
Why'd you
gave a
give
gun
him
to
the
the dumbest
high-powered
person.
rifle? Yeah, no, give
Yeah.
him just like the little pew pew pew. You know,
Give,
like,
give him a squirt gun.
yeah,
Yeah.
right.
He'll think it's real.
Yeah.
Oh man.
They make him in orange these days? They sure do, buddy.
Ooh, yeah.
Dude, like I said, the bit where he's just riding around, just like whooping and just firing his gun in the air, and I'm like, going, "You dick! You're not
As
gonna
him
last
and
much
Minnie
longer."
Driver just like hiding in the car.
Yeah,
And they have that
I-
really cute, like they're
Yeah.
looking through the tapes. Like it's just it's
Yeah.
a fun
Yeah.
movie.
He's like,
just-
this is
she
my
just-
car from high school.
just
Yeah,
turned
that was
the-
great. Yeah.
just turn the heater on, and she ducks down under. Like she makes a joke and then
It's
ducks
so
under
cute,
the water and
yeah.
like
She
marry me,
is a
Minnie
treasure,
Driver,
yeah.
marry me. Oh my
Yeah.
god, she's great. So yes, this movie rules. It also a big premise of it is like we're in the town of Indiana. Like Ryan was saying, you know, people were very excited when it was shooting there, and it also goes with the theme that apparently everyone in Indiana is a dick because in this movie, most people are just a
Yeah.
bunch of murdering rapist thieves
Well,
that just want to take advantage of any situation.
did this movie also also bankrupt this entire town?
It got everything soggy. It was
Yeah.
black mold everywhere, probably.
Yes, probably. But there is another movie that we did today. Actually, I just finished watching it an hour and a half ago. But that sort of goes, hey, maybe everyone doesn't suck, and maybe the world doesn't suck, and maybe we can just make a movie about a little guy that wants to play football. And you know what? It's one of my favorite movies, and my favorite thing, and it's a joke that Will made last week, is when you Google the film and pull up the Wikipedia for Rudy, its first thing on Wikipedia says, not to be confused with Rudy, the Rudy Giuliani story.
God. Also starring Sean Austin. No,
Yeah.
as his
Oh,
hair
no.
dye.
Oh no.
But yes, like I was saying, directed by the director of another great sports movie, Hoosiers, which
Little
is-
Giants. Oh.
Yeah, which is Indiana Champion, which is a very Indiana movie. And like, you know, my buddy, I was talking to April, like, Indiana is basketball, you know,
Mhm.
but it's like, and this movie is like, yeah, but you know what? It's also football. You know, you got Indiana State, you've got Notre Dame, and it tells the true story of Rudy Rudiger, Daniel Rudy Rudiger, who just wants to play football for Notre Dame. And then
Okay, wait. Is Rudy a nickname? Because I
Yes.
was really confused. Okay, I'm like,
Rudy's
there's no
Rudy is his
fucking way his
nickname.
name is okay. Thank
Yeah,
God.
yeah. Everyone just calls him Rudy. But it's yeah, it starts, you know, with, you know, one of our favorite things, you know, based on a true story. And we know from half the time when a movie says that, it's like, not really. But this one is. Go for it, Ryan. Come on.
I was just thinking
You've got
like
you've got
it
a
just
joke.
it just made me think of like the because the intro it's like them as young kids, and I was honestly confused. I'm like, are they all like the four of them? Are they all brothers? Right?
Yeah.
So
But it
no,
would
there's
be-
the older brother.
Well, there's the friend.
there's
Yeah.
the younger brother, and then Pete, his best mate
But he's got two brothers, right?
in the movie. Yes.
In the movie, he has two.
Yeah,
In
yeah,
real
yeah.
life, he has, I think, 14. And
I
I'm
don't
not
care
even,
about the
I'm not even joking.
Yeah, but like it has that like walk hard almost style intro where they're playing
Yes.
basketball together, and
Yep.
like I'm gonna live forever.
I can't wait to go do great things.
Yeah. Do you want to see a picture of my future family?
Yeah.
I'm
absolutely.
definitely gonna make it through this movie. But it's like, you know, and that's the one thing is that like the opening like sort of few bits of the movie that his best mate Pete is like in watching it through a 2020 sort of like six lens, I'm like, so Pete's gay and loves Rudy, right? Because that guy loves Rudy. It's just so nice. Gets him the best birthday gift ever. Never says it hard way. It's just whenever he's doing anything, he's just looking at Rudy. Go, I love how much Rudy loves Notre Dame.
Yeah.
He's just like my best friend.
I sure hope I don't get exploded in a
It's
smelting
exactly what
accident.
it is. Just sure hope he doesn't explode.
I was not expecting that, but in that smelting, because this movie's absolutely gorgeous. I think that's when I texted him like, "Is this feels like a Ron Howard movie, right?
Mhm.
Like I'm not crazy."
Yeah, no, it definitely, when you mentioned that, I'm like, that is exactly what this feels
Right?
like, you know? But
And not, I don't mean that in a bad way. It's just like it's a beautifully made moving motion picture.
I'm
yeah,
looking up the cinematographer.
Jan de Bont.
He's so let me have a look. He's did
Holy
ironic. We've
shit.
already mentioned this one, but he did Die Hard 2, Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, Sister
Ooh.
Act 2, Terminal Velocity. I actually quite like that movie. Face Off, U571, Born
Yes.
Identity, Born Supremacy, Talladega Nights, Born Ultimatum. I'm skipping over other movies that you would know as
Wait,
well.
the
but
Rudy guy, he shot Rudy
The-
also, or he shot
the-
Hard Rain?
this is the cinematographer for Rudy.
Okay. I was like,
Um,
that's like so hard rain coded. I'm
and the
confused.
last one on his list, guys, and then he stopped working.
Rudy 2. The
Morbius.
Giuliani story.
Morbius.
Oh, no,
Oh,
no.
all right. Well, struck
Ah,
out right at the end there,
Well, that
but
movie sucked, but there was a few
no.
times I go, oh, it actually quite looked nice, so I'll still give him his credit.
Mhm.
But also, then, yes, he has passed. He passed at the age of 80
No.
in 2023.
And now he's a vampire.
Who in 2016 he did the remake of Ben-Hur, which I know Will was watching the original in 4K.
Oh
But
my God, that movie. Sorry, just real quick. That movie looks phenomenal in 4K. The movie is fine, whatever. I really just wanted to own it because I'm like, it's a classic. I'm spending like half the movie just being like, whoa, this
mm,
is this looks so good. So, and not, I I guess they couldn't call the characters gay at the time, but it is so gay. It might be the gayest movie ever made.
yeah, what did
Uh,
you like? Ryan text you did the quote from Airplane.
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, you like movies
the
about gladiators?
yeah,
That wasn't even a quote. I was just asking.
yeah. That might be the ethos of this movie. But
100%. Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, enough about that. Who cares?
Well, the
Everyone,
ethos of
everyone who made that
Rudy.
movie's dead. All
Well,
right,
honestly,
move on.
my favorite part of Rudy. So, like, Rudy does tell a true story, but at the same time, it does things like there'll be certain characters that are amalgamations of everyone that said you could. There are other characters that are amalgamations of everyone that said you can't. He didn't work in a smelting plant. He actually was a yeoman in the Navy for like 3 or 4 years before he sort of like came back. But the cool thing is like whenever it gets to the end of the movie, you can go onto YouTube and you can watch that play.
Right.
That's the
Yeah.
coolest part about it is that you can know that's exactly how it went down, which is really cool. But all throughout the movie, like as in I've seen it a million times, but I'm taking all my notes. But it's like just so many of like the people in his life, his dad and his brother, are just basically Kristen Wiig from Walk Hard of like, I
Oh,
love you.
100%.
I know
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
gonna fail. I just know you're gonna fail. Like
Yeah.
every time.
Yeah, glad you're here, Rudy. You're never gonna make it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy how much Walk Hard has ruined also like movies like this for us.
Yeah.
It's because it's a very tropey, very 90s, was it 93? Right?
Yes, I think so.
So like
Wow, you did get it right. Well,
oh
good for
shit.
you.
Hey.
I also just watched
Holy
it.
shit.
I never saw this movie back then, but it was like parodied. I feel like it was such a popular movie that it was parodied so much like
Yeah.
on like SNL, whatever. It was just one of those, iconic films from that period. So this was my first time actually sitting down to watch it. And I was fully prepared to like shit all over it, but I really did enjoy this
Oh,
movie.
mate, you have no idea. Mrs. was like going, wait, Ryan's watching Rudy? Oh, he's going to be such a dick about it. I'm like, no, no, no. You think he's going to like it? She said, no, no, he's going to just tear it apart. He's just going to,
I precursed it
fucking
with
hate it.
dude, it's that same thing. Anytime anyone tells me like, "Oh my God, you have to watch this, you're gonna like it," I'm already pre-programmed to like, if I would like it so much, I would have already seen it. Fuck
Well,
you.
exactly right. Because you're a dick. But thing is, see, this movie came out in the 90s, right? And so I assumed, so I'd never heard of this movie. I was introduced to this movie 20 years ago when I was on my first trip to Texas and I'm meeting all my wife's family, I'm meeting all her brothers and stuff like this. And then it was honestly put on, I think, by her brothers as kind of like a test of like, they were like, wait, you've never seen Rudy? I'm like, no, I've never heard of it. So it never made it across the pond. It didn't, there's certain American
Right.
football movies would, but this one's a little bit niche, telling a true story of something that we're like, why are they saying Notre Dame wrong? And it's like, so I was like, no, never fucking
John
heard of
Favreau
it.
says it right.
Yes, he does. And so I assumed, oh, what is it? Just some straight to DVD crap, American movie. And they were like, all right, Ollie, sit down. And like,
Mhm.
you got to watch this movie. And I was like, all right. And like, they were like, yeah, if you don't cry at the end of this movie, you have no soul. And I think you're dead to me. And I'm like, okay, no pressure.
Yeah.
I'm going to watch this movie. But it's cooking from, look, I think this movie is so elevated by Jerry Goldsmith just like
Oh yeah.
writing straight up fire. Like we
Mhm.
listen to the Rudy theme songs. Mrs. has a whole playlist of really great theme songs, and this is one of the ones we love. We love to listen to the theme from like, and throughout this movie, it's just got so much like it tells you when to be sad, when to be happy, when to be excited, when to be like, look at just the coolness of like the flutes are playing and just like in slow motion breathing of football and like just Jerry Goldsmith cooks in
Yeah.
this movie. It's fucking great.
I understand that it's impossible for me not to be like cynical just because again this movie has such a long history about it, but I'm like I just can't get over the fact that like yeah, I get that he is really small, he's kind of dumb, he's not great at football, but the whole thing hinges on like, well, he's got a lot of heart and he really wants to go to this fucking school. So
And
there you go.
he's a tough bastard. You know,
Sure.
that's things like say he was
Yeah.
good. Like everyone's like, no, he was a good football player. He's just tiny. And the thing is, like, watching this movie, I give a lot of credit to Sean Astin for being like he tough as
Yeah,
nails.
they looks like they actually beat the shit out of him.
Yeah,
Like,
and it's
really
like
put him through the ringer.
yeah, and he's
Yeah.
like he tackles well. You know,
Yeah.
you're just watching him do stuff that I'm like, oh no, Sean Astin. Like again, because you watch sort of like later Sean Astin, or you just think, you know, I just you know what I've seen Sean Astin play so many different roles. The guy's a legend. I mean, like honestly, like I was telling,
Yeah.
I can't remember if I said it in the show last time, but I was telling you guys the best time I ever saw Rudy was with Mrs. at the like Alamo Draft House
Oh, that's right.
where they did a movie party, which was great. So when his buddy dies, we all hold up a candle, you know, and like you know when they're playing football, we have mini footballs, we can blow whistles, all that kind of shit. But Sean Astin came out and did a 2-hour Q&A with us, and it
Awesome.
was just magical. I was like, I can't believe I just watched Rudy, and now here's Rudy, and like it was brilliant. But like this movie, it does exactly what it says on the
Did you
tin.
know he was going to be there?
Yeah. We
Oh,
did.
okay.
That's why we got tickets for it.
I got you.
I wish it had been a surprise. That would be amazing. But like this movie does exactly what it says on the tin, but it does it in a way that is just oh so satisfying because they just keep punching Rudy in the dick. It's just like, you know, it's like he's constantly having to like, okay, no one believes in him. Now he has to get into the college. Okay, he can't get into the college.
Well, he
Does
saves
get
up like
good
20
grades?
grand. He's dating his longtime girlfriend who's like, well, literally giving him an ultimatum of like, listen, I've been fucking waiting.
Yeah.
We're going to buy this house. Like
And
you're
you're gonna
not
put a
taking
baby in me, and that's
right.
it.
It basically, yeah. Yeah. I forgot what.
And then he leaves, and she's like, "All right, brother, I'm gonna go. Your older brother put a baby in me," and it's like
Right.
pretty much
Yeah.
what happens. But like he goes to, you know, he goes to Notre Dame, and then like you know they go, "Oh, we'll get you in Holy Cross," and then you've got the Holy Cross. Like there's all these mini movies inside the movie.
Yeah.
That it's like, okay, we start off with him, and now he's like, you know, with his friends, and he's with family, and no one like this dream's never going to happen. And his friend dies, and all right, now you got to try and get into Notre Dame. So he's like constantly trying to get grades, and it's always like he's getting rejected. We're
There's not a ton of football in this movie.
That's the
Not
thing,
being a football
No,
movie.
because
no.
when the football finally starts, I go, oh yeah, it's a football movie.
Yeah.
Because it's
Yeah,
not. It's like it's
right.
actually like a Rudy movie, and it's like it's about halfway through the movie that we even get to the football because it's like no, he doesn't just go. He has to get in, and to get in,
Right.
he keeps failing. It's one of my favorite bits of the movie actually, because one, Jerry Goldsmith completely does his job, but it's also just great acting by Sean Astin. That he's been rejected, and it's like this is his last time.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like he sits down on the bench, and the music's like kind of tense. And it's just a fantastic bit of acting by Sean Astin. He opens it up. We don't see it. We don't like read it. It never cuts away. It's just him kind of whispering, reading, and then he just emotionally breaks. And I just remember the first time I'm watching this movie, I'm like, yeah, fucking well done, really good for you, buddy. Like, I'm just like blink, blinking
And
back
then
some
he
tears.
immediately goes to his father in the smelting factory,
Yeah.
and his
Yeah.
brother there's to like to shove it, not shove it in their face, but to show them that they finally made it. And I thought that dad was gonna light the thing on fire. It's just,
Yeah, just
But-
something.
I'm just mentally prepared for something shitty to happen.
But then, but I've written it here, right? Because every
I've
time
got
he
the
goes
letter
back,
here that I got in, and it just blows away. Like, oh shit!
he dives after it. But like, no. So like, he goes, and it's the thing it's the thing that's so frustrating in this movie, which makes the victory feel so good, is that no matter how many times he proves it, like people still doubt the guy, and so he's like,
Right.
his
Brother,
dad,
his brother's
"I
a
got him."
real fucking asshole.
Yeah, but even his dad, and like, because Rudy goes like, he mentions, "Oh, now I gotta go, Dad. Football tryout start," and his dad gives him this look, and it's like, but it's like, because his dad's motivational sort of speeches, he's about to leave to go on the bus, and he goes, he's like, "Dreams cause pain to all those around him." Like, thanks for the motivation, Dad.
Mhm.
And it's like this one, I was like, I've got a quote from his dad. His look is like, "Congrats, dreams cause pain. I love you, and I know you're going to fail." You know, it's just
Yeah.
like, you
It's-
know.
Yeah, the speech where he sits down and you think it's going to be the talk, like the pep talk he needs, it so goes the other way that
Yeah.
it's almost
It's
hysterical.
the
Like
demotivational
I'm watching
speech.
it like laughing, just so you know, son, I don't believe in you at all. Like you're wasting your time.
Yeah.
You're just like,
The wrong kid smelted.
yeah. It's just
Ah,
it's and I will say, as much as I like this movie, to its detriment, the dad, you know, Rudy's going through all this turmoil to succeed and to make his dreams come true. And where it's like the dad at the end where he finally goes to the stadium and he's like, "This is beautiful." I'm like, "Oh, fuck you." Like
yeah.
I so don't like the dad, or I'm like, I don't even care.
He's
But
like,
this is
this is the
emotionally
most
catharsis for
the
you.
most beautiful sight these eyes have ever seen, and it's like with his wife and
It-
son standing next to
yeah,
him.
like
Yeah.
not when we were born. Yeah, I wonder why I grew up to be a dick. Yeah.
Fuck you,
You get a better
Dad.
response from like the custodian guy who's like this wise
Right.
wizard man who like lets him
Yeah.
sleep in the thing. Like just the fact of him showing up, at the stadium and he gives him the nod, and
hmm Yeah,
like
way more.
that was more impactful. Like
And
that was
the
cool.
the brother, reading up on it, it's like, yeah, his brothers were not. None of his brothers were that. That was kind of invented for the movie that his brothers were,
Yeah,
or at least
same
one
thing
brother's
with
that
Dan
much of a dick.
Devine. Like Dan
The
Devine was
Yeah,
like, no,
the
but they just when the movie needs a sort of like an
yeah, you need it.
antagonist.
Yeah, you need it for the
for
film.
sure. The one character who I was pleasantly surprised was John Favreau's character. I thought for sure, they
Debo.
introduced him as the TA. I thought he was just going to be an absolute fucking total dick to Rudy, and he
hmm
kind of is at first, but I like that their friendship kind of blossoms
Yeah,
over
no,
this
we
movie.
Yeah,
get
That was
we get a
cool.
great introduction to a young John Favreau, and then like I wrote here, like we get Dad, and Dad's like, "Dreams cause pain, I love you, you're gonna fail." Suddenly we're in a football movie with slow-mo beauty shots, flutes playing, and I'm like, "Sign me up." But
hmm
then very quickly after that, we get into like we're just a scene's happening, and the dude walks away, and then you look at the guy sitting on the car, starts talking, you're like, "Is that fucking Vince Vaughn?"
That's what I said. Yeah,
yeah,
It's like,
baby Vince Vaughn.
what the hell? I don't know, my
I
thing is,
was,
wow, he already looks tired.
the first thing I
Yeah.
said to myself, because was it Vincent D'Onofrio? What was the Mystic Pizza? Was that it?
Yeah,
Yes.
D'Onofrio.
Where like I was like, I bet in the fucking credits of this movie they're gonna call him Vincent Vaughn, and sure enough, they fucking
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
did.
yeah, yeah.
It's what's funny is, so this is, when did this come out?
93.
Oh, 93. Okay, I was thinking, because of course I was thinking Hard Rain, because I was thinking
Who
98. So
wasn't?
like, 4 years later, like American, or no, Wedding Crashers comes out. I'm like, Vince Vaughn fell, like, oh my God, like what happened to him in this?
Was
He
Swingers
aged
like
like,
97?
See, yeah, that's the thing. So
yeah.
like
So,
Swingers and Favreau, like
Right.
like
mhm,
with Vaughn, it's like okay, they had that kind of thing. That's why I
yeah,
liked. I feel like they met on this movie. You know what I
they
mean?
probably, yeah, this is probably like the start of their friendship.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is. You almost don't recognize him because he is like so young in this movie.
It was his voice that did it for me. Like he
Yeah.
does not look like. I mean, he was a baby. I mean,
So
they're all
skinny,
babies in this.
so
Yeah.
skinny.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
suck ass.
it is crazy to think that Sean Astin was already like a veteran, like a Hollywood veteran by this point.
Yeah,
Like
Oh, it's
he had been
true.
in the
oh
game for like
Lord.
over a decade, and he was like, I've been in movies before, kid, like to
Yeah. I
to
mean,
everyone else.
Encino Man.
That's it.
The
Um,
Goonies.
Oh, I guess there's
the
that.
Adam Sandler one where he's in Hawaii, I guess. I don't remember.
50 First Dates.
Is it 51st Dates? Yeah, he's
Yeah,
funny in that.
that's a good movie. No, the guy's got range. Sean Astin's
Yeah.
got range. And then like yeah, then it becomes like the football movie, but then it's also like I love like so the next thing I've got is just in capitals, Pandora rules, because it's you get one of the coaches like the defensive coach is giving such a great briefing to sort of like fill us in on okay, like if you don't understand how this works, you walk-ons are just going to be pounded on. I don't care if you get hurt. This is what we're going to
hmm
kind of do. But he's giving such a great briefing, and it's just movie being movie. And it's like cutting from him to the things that are happening. And I was like, no, you're setting it up great. We're getting really tough tackles,
Yeah.
and there's a
hmm
really sort of like, and it's like one of the other notes I go, Rocky montages needed to have more Jerry Goldsmith because anytime we've
Mm.
got like a montage in this movie of things moving forward, it's a pleasure. But my favorite one
hmm
is like where they first start, where Rudy makes the prep team, and or it's even when they're training for it, and it's just about 12, 15 different shots of Rudy getting the ever living shit beat out of him. It's just,
Yeah.
oh, oh,
Yeah.
boom.
It would have been
Like,
for like just like really good dummy work, just like throw a fucking
Yeah,
a pillow with
bending
a
him,
helmet on it. Yeah.
bending him in half, and his head comes off at one
honestly,
point.
you say
Yeah,
that there was a really good thing on Threads the other day where someone was talking about. I miss how in the '90s there was some really funny work with dolls, like
Dummy work,
yeah,
yeah.
dummy, like, as in they're so obviously fake, and they were cutting some really
Yeah.
funny ones from the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air that I remember.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's great. That's
yeah.
great. Yeah, of course. I love
And
that.
it's like, yeah, there was a time when people would fall off a bridge or whatever, and there was just legs and arms would move in ways that just do not apply to human beings.
Every
Right.
every was it Albert Pien movie?
Yeah, exactly. It's just
Good dummy
it,
work. Should bring that
basically a
back. It's
raggedy doll.
funny.
Oh yeah,
Now it's just
always.
relegated to like sketch comedy on television, like
Yeah,
silly dummy work. Someone getting fucking thrown out of a
yeah.
window.
So another thing about this movie that makes it look fantastic is quite clearly, and you can look into the behind the scenes, given so much free reign by Notre Dame.
That was crazy to me.
hmm
They are just shooting on campus, like the one shot that you sent Ryan.
Oh
You
my
sent that
God. I
screenshot.
had to pause it.
Yeah, it's great. Like
Like
how
I
they took Sean Astin and they put him into a real sort of like football season
Yeah.
of just that crane shot.
Yeah, he's trying to get
hmm
tickets to go to I think it's the first
First
game,
time he's
right?
trying to go, yeah, he's trying to see a game for the
Okay.
first time in his
So
life.
he's like running around and it's like him in the crowd trying to scalp tickets or just get tickets.
It's
So
all
he's like,
long
I got
lens,
10
so you know
bucks.
that's just him interacting
It's
with people.
exactly. And then it shows like his ultimate defeat where he's like, fuck, I couldn't get into the game. And he just starts slowly walking away. And as he's doing that, the camera pans up and I'm like, oh wow, that's like, oh, I get what they're doing. Like he can hear the stadium and the camera pans up over the stadium and it is fucking packed and
Yeah.
I'm just blown away by
And
it.
it's like a real game going
I
on.
was
And
like,
it's
Yeah.
it's a,
wow.
it's the same thing with when it sort of like comes to the end of
Yeah.
like that was shot during Notre Dame Boston College. So
hmm
it was shot during an actual game, and it's like they had 59,000 fans, and they were like chant Rudy, and so everyone knew the story, and so it's like you even see the joy. Like it's one of my favorite little touches just after they've carried him off the field, and right at the end of the movie, as it's like the thing turns on, like it's one of the cheer leaders or the yell leaders turns around,
Yeah.
and he's got this look on his face of pure joy of like,
It's like
wow.
we did it, guys.
Yeah, and I was
Yeah.
like, and it's just a real thing, and it's like they'd clearly got like the vibe of the sort of like, no, we're recreating a moment. We're gonna do it in the real place with a real crowd, and the energy in that place just seemed electric. That when it's sort of like
Yeah.
the moment of him being lifted and carry off, there's so much momentum that you're just beaming.
As I was going through this movie, because again, I knew that it was based on a true story, but I didn't look up anything. Like I know about the famous play, but from a movie structural standpoint, I for some reason thought that like because even as a kid, he's like so obsessed, like he's reciting the locker room speech, like he knows this team in and out, he knows every previous player. I thought it was going to be one of those things where he doesn't end up playing, but he knows so much about the team that he's going to work with the coach and
Mhm.
come up with some clever plays. Or like
hmm
I didn't know what to expect, and like it was a fascinating like biopic, I guess, in that way.
It is. It's the same
Yeah.
writer as Hoosiers as well.
Yeah.
So it's like same writer director team, and this is what's interesting actually, because like, so this movie sort of happens in the '70s, and that's the couple of times where they get that really
I was
like,
going to ask when it's set because it feels
It's-
weirdly timeless.
well, it
Yeah.
is weirdly timeless because they are using sort of like the making people look, and they're pretty clever about like sometimes there's cars and stuff like that, but like it's the moments when he's running in the crowd, or they're showing the crowd, or the crane shots going up in a real time, that if you really decide to look at it, you notice people are dressed like it's the early '90s, or you can see vehicles in the background that aren't quite
Mhm.
period act. But what you're actually seeing is the the production value
Yeah,
of
yeah, yeah.
there's 60,000 people in the shot. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, so you're
Yeah.
not looking at that. They're playing like a bit of a magic trick going, no, we're going to distract him with the razzle dazzle. No one's really going to care.
And I didn't even notice.
But it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, so it's set like when he was there during the '70s. So listen to this. There's a bit of like behind the scenes that like it was in the '80s. In '82, Rudy was trying to sort of pitch a film project. It wasn't really working. Entered into a deal with a screenwriter who just basically stole his life savings. He's living in South Bend, Indiana. So it's basically a whole Rudy story of trying to make the Rudy story. So he's living in South Bend where Notre Dame is. And he was inspired when he watched Hoosiers.
Mm.
And so it was like happened to sort of like get the contact information for Angelo Pizzo because he was in South Bend. And that's kind of how the whole thing goes. And then Pizzo brought on the director and
Mm.
brought on the producer, and it's like, the story of how this movie kind of gets made is similar. It's a lot of echoes in what Rudy did initially as well. And that's kind of the fun thing is that then
Mm.
Rudy spent the like, that's what Rudy has now done is he's just a motivational speaker.
Yeah, that makes
He
sense.
just goes and tells the story of being Rudy and tells the story of making Rudy, and it's like, hey man, just believe. And
Mm.
it's like,
It's
okay.
crazy that he also wanted Gene Hackman to play him in the movie. But like Dorf style, where he's like just on his knees with
Yeah.
shoes.
Like what's that Gary Oldman movie? Like Tiptoes? Yeah.
Oh my
Film like
God.
that.
I'm fascinated by that movie.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, there was a lot of challenges. Like they got the green light, but they had a 2 week window to revise the script and got 2 days to secure permission to shoot at Notre Dame. And the school had not allowed anyone to shoot on campus since a 1940s movie. You know what I mean? Like it's
Wow.
it's it's bonkers.
Hmm.
And they got so many real places. South Bend, Notre Dame, Holy Cross, the local bar, Cap
Hmm.
and Cork, where it's like Mary, Mary, Quake Terry. These are all real places.
Hmm.
There's all like so the access is just it just makes the movie feel so real. And then on top of that, the way they shoot the football, they never put the camera on field. There's no like close-ups of the guys from it's
Right, from
all
like any
shot
given Sunday style, yeah.
right. It's
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
shot as if it's being shot like a real thing. And then they
Like
were saying that like
broadcast.
they got the NFL sort of broadcast guys involved
Mm.
in filming the sort of the football scenes, which is why it just looks so effortless and
Mm.
great
Yeah.
and like big and crunchy. And it's like all these little things coming together. Like I said, it's elevating something that just on the surface is very, very simple, but it gives us such a satisfying watch. And it catharts so hard at the end that you're just like I said, this movie is just you could I'll watch it whenever it's on. It's one of those ones that if you're flicking, Rudy's on, cool. I'm gonna watch this. Why? Because it's great, and I know how I'm gonna feel at the end of it. It's like no, it's just gonna
Mhm.
make me feel good. It's just one of those movies for me, and it's
Mhm.
like, and it has been since I saw it 20 years ago. And I remember, yeah, finishing it and going, yeah, I didn't know about that.
I can understand that. It makes sense. Conversely, I'm like now that I've seen it, I'm like, yeah, I get it. I don't think I need to watch. I'm not gonna go out of my way to throw this on
You're
again.
gonna be in a hotel in Mexico City, and Rudy's gonna be on in Spanish, and you're gonna fucking watch it. You will.
Well, then it's a good
El
thing that I have my
Rudy,
laptop
El.
with me with hard rain on.
I will say it was definitely weird watching it this time, not in 45-minute chunks, like over a course
Oh,
of
in
3 or 4
school,
days
yeah.
from
Yeah,
school. Because as
yeah.
I established previously, I have only watched this 6 times only at school.
Mm.
In
So
science class and stuff
in
like that.
science class, health class. It was always a PE teacher, and now having worked in education for as long as I did, where the teacher would come and be like, "Hey, we're gonna do a movie the next few days." Be like, "Why? Why?" And now having worked there, I'm like, "Oh, you're hungover,"
Yeah, yeah,
because
yeah,
I did the
exactly.
same thing. Like, so I was like, "Okay, I get it."
It is
That's
such
why I
like
saw Rudy so
an
much.
appropriate like school movie. It did feel it had this like this like layer of film like Disney film over it,
Yes.
Mm.
like it plays it very, very safe. And
Yeah.
and that's not to the movie's detriment. It's incredible, but I, compared to like what was the other one we did? It was I can never remember the Titans.
Remember, you twat. I can't believe you just and I just yeah. Oh, yep. Well played.
I honestly
That's the
could
second
not.
movie.
I
Oh shit, I
honestly,
forgot the Titans.
yeah.
You got to make that
The,
movie poster actually. Oh shit,
oh
I forgot the
yeah.
Titans.
Oops, all Titans?
A sad Denzel Washington in Frontier.
I forgot the Titans. Ryan, please do
No,
that.
it's gonna be Titans versus Alamo.
Which do you...
A remembrance.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Remembrance Day.
That's so stupid. What were we just talking about? Didn't you have a
I,
point?
Hard Rain, man.
no.
No. Oh yeah.
The joke was that I legitimately could not remember the title
Yeah.
of Remember the Titans. Like that wasn't a bit. I honestly was stalling to remember it. I'm like, oh, yeah. But like that, which I believe was a Disney.
Yeah, that's one
Yeah.
of those Disney. Yes,
It
yes.
kind of like this. I just go back to my point. Like this kind of had that feel to it, but not in a bad way.
Right, no,
Yeah.
exactly. That's kind of what I mean. Like what I'm saying about it, like feeling like it's an elevated version of it's like I said, it's one of those movies that all of the little changes they made to make the story a bit more fun or a bit more it's fine. You know what I
Mhm.
Yeah.
mean? It's just got it's classic. It's the weird thing about America, who loves an underdog unless it's literally anyone apart from
Yeah,
America.
and
Right.
We like being
considering
America, but we also love underdogs.
right.
Mhm.
Considering this, the star of the movie is skewed like college age ish. This does feel like it's geared to a more older audience.
In
You
a
know?
way,
Yeah.
my last note on the actual movie is it says Rudy, it shows you a picture of Rudy, and it was like Rudy graduated in 1976, and I go quite clearly at the age of 57 years old because he
Yeah.
looks
Well,
like a
that
fully grown man in that
Yeah.
picture. I
it
was
is.
like,
You do start to kind of do the math, like as you're watching the movie. It's like, wait, he graduates from high school, and then
it's
it
four
jumps 4 years,
years,
4 years, yeah.
and then
22, then he
yeah, and
does
then
college.
college, and he's there for a number of years before he goes to.
He's
So
like
you are
27, 26,
like
27.
yeah. When he's like, it's my senior year, I'm like the seventh year of being a senior year. Like,
How do you do, fellow kids?
Did
yeah.
you do you know where Rudy is in the movie? The real Rudy is in the movie. During
He's
the
in the
final
crowd, right?
game, yeah,
Yeah, I saw that.
he's behind Ned Beatty. So when Ned turns around, he's like banging on, like, "Do you see
Oh,
my son? That's
Oh.
Rudy." And then apparently D-Bob was the bartender as well. So like they got the real guys for
Oh, that's
which I
cool.
oh,
think is kind of
Yeah.
fun. Which is
Always, it kind of reminded me of Dark Water, where they had the actual people, only it's way less horrific.
oh my God,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Oh
You
yeah,
know?
no, that yeah, their children died. Wait, what?
Right.
He's like,
yeah.
shit. Oh my God, I've forgotten about that. My one of my favorite little bits in the movie is the guy with no neck. The guy who is just neck, actually, his head is just neck.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a big. He's a
Moose.
giant thumb. Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
yeah,
Right.
yes, a thumb with eyes. That like
Yeah.
throughout the movie, like he gets two great moments in the movie. One is when Rudy comes back and he starts, and I always think I can't remember the movie where the guy's always trying to start a slow
The
clap.
slow. It was varsity. It was not another teen
Not
movie.
another teen
Yeah.
movie, and then he doesn't get it right. But he does the slow clap.
The slow
But it's
clap.
the other part later where
Is that
like
the first instance of like a slow clap on
no,
a
no,
movie?
no, it can't be.
Can't be.
But it's like you just see him thinking about it. But it's the bit later where you're finding out, oh, like, come on, we got to get Rudy like on the pitch, on the pitch. Oh my God, I'm speaking British for a second. And you see him there with his helmet on, and he's thinking so hard, and you can
Processing.
just see
Yeah.
like he's
Processing.
rubbing
Yeah.
both
Loading,
brain cells
loading,
together,
yeah.
and he's just like, uh-oh. I need to, and Rudy, and he just starts the Rudy chant. I just love the face where you just like you come exactly. You see the
Right. You see
loading
the
bar,
spark.
you can hear the
Yeah, yeah.
56K modem. Like,
Yeah. How do I solve? Shout. I solve by shout.
shout
Yes.
name, shout name,
Rudy.
man, shout name, man. Everyone shout name, man.
He's
Rudy.
he's just like, it's 2 syllables. I could do this.
Yeah. The whole crux of this is like he's got to get his whole thing is like I just want to be kitted up for one game. Like he doesn't think he's
Mhm.
gonna
He
play at
didn't
all.
even that. Like he wanted to go to Notre Dame, sure, and then like he'd love to be a part of the
Right.
team, and he was. But then it's like no one could see me, and so it was the fact of like, well, yeah, actually, if you dress for a game, you're officially on
On
the
the
thing,
field.
and
Yeah.
then like if you play a play, you're officially like recorded as officially playing for Notre Dame. And
Mhm.
so like they're apparently like so like they have like Notre Dame has its own newspaper like a lot of them do, and it had been a big story.
Yeah.
So like it had been like it's why everybody's chanting his name as everybody knew the story and he had
Sure.
become kind of like a little legend in like of
Mhm.
his own.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why like everybody wanted it to happen. And it's
Right.
like it's even like I said even when he does get out there you see the two guys playing the offensive and defensive coordinator coaches look so gleeful about it. That it's I
Mhm.
think like I said I think what it was is that they because I was asking the question of myself is like there's so much great football happening but in period specific like outfits and then they've got crowd there that I'm like did they just like put on an expo game and invite people to kind of just watch them
Or like
shoot
a
or something like
halftime thing.
I
Yeah,
don't
maybe.
know because but
Yeah.
there's but again because it just seems to be that energy like I said you see it
Yeah, it's
written
palpable.
all
Mhm.
over the actors' faces, and it's like we talk about it so many times
I
about putting actors in a real situation or getting real things happening. There's so
yeah.
little acting going on; they're all just in it, and it just seemed like there's so much glee and so much going on people's faces.
I do like I didn't watch like the actual real life play, so but in typical movie fashion, I'm like, was it the winning play? Like, what was he actually
It
doing
was
on field? I
no
think he just had a
Rudy.
sack. It was just one play.
Well, he got
How
three.
much time on the clock was left? Because that
Yeah,
play ends and they just carry him off the field and
yeah.
to Mordor, I assume.
Yes, yes, to take the rings
yeah.
of it. But no,
They just throw
essentially,
him in.
how it goes down is very, very close. So there were three plays. There's just one they didn't bother putting in because it's just a field return or
Okay.
whatever, right? But he goes in, and that's the victory. And then they said, no, no, just stay out.
Right,
And
right.
he was, but he no, he
He's
breaks
like,
through
oh,
and fucking sacks the guy.
right. He gets the
And that's
sack.
why the place goes absolutely wild. It's like
Yeah.
it was just such a great
I just kept
moment.
waiting for it to like them lifting him off, and they cut to the scoreboard. There's still like 2 periods left,
Yeah.
and the score is just
They're
an absolute
down by
blowout.
82. Like,
And then your Ryan joke was so
Yeah.
good when you said like no player has been ever carried off by Notre Dame since '75, and then you go all won a title, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh, you bastard.
I don't know if that's true.
Honestly, it's too good to check.
It was a good
like,
joke,
It's
yeah.
a great joke. But it's I think my favorite part of the movie, that while they make all these changes, the best part about it, the best part of the story, the really satisfying ending
Mhm.
is 100% how it actually went down. That you're just like, cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
At that
Cool.
point, I didn't even care about the footballs anymore. I was just excited to see him get
Yeah.
out there and run his little legs around. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did think it was a little bit of a buzzkill when the end credits said like, and then he was shot 2 minutes after he came off the field. Like, I was like, oh, he didn't need to put that in there.
They didn't have a Avengers Doomsday.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
that joke, everyone, that joke is, it's just gotten
It's
so
done.
much mileage. It's been
Yeah.
done everywhere, but
Yeah.
it's people are still finding new ways to make it funny. That I'm just like, okay, appreciate. So
Lee
look,
Harvey Oswald will return.
but I will say, so look, it's no argument from us that these two movies both very different, but both very satisfying watches. You know, like I
yeah.
said, like really, really good. And like as we got it like last time with Hoosiers as well, that this is a really good, solid triple threat of movies. Like, well done, Indiana.
Remind me, was Hoosiers based on a true
Yes.
story? Or
Yes,
okay.
100%. True story, true. Like, so that guy,
Ooh, that's gonna be a tough one, huh?
that coach himself is, you know, like he
Right.
pops up, still a legend, all this kind of
It's
stuff.
gonna
So,
be
yeah.
really difficult to pick Hard Rain.
Yeah. So yeah, so the thing is that yes, so we've got Hoosiers, we really focused on like it being a very defining Indiana story, especially with the basketball. Now we come on over to Rudy, it's the same writer, same director.
Yeah.
And it's like, but it's got that extra, like I would say extra that it's got on top of Hoosiers of the fact that it's got total
More
access.
geography. Yeah, there's
Yeah,
more.
with total access. And it's like so
Yeah.
it's one of two movies ever to shoot in Notre Dame,
That's
like,
yeah, and
Indiana University.
that is tough because when you get into these like university movies, it is so specific to that university. Does it best represent that entire state?
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
Whereas
Whereas,
Black Rain.
yeah, I was gonna say, you know,
I keep calling it Black Rain too.
Oh shit! I just did it.
Yeah.
Damn Hard Rain. God damn it.
and everybody knows it's forces of nature. Like, but Hard Rain has a legitimate claim too because the town got behind it. You know, and
Yeah.
it's not that they took that movie on. It's not like, you know, it's they're not shooting in Vancouver.
Right.
You know,
You know, we've had so many which is Saskatchewan movies.
right.
You know.
Though, I mean, there was a fair amount of it that was shot in studio in LA, but still, like, for
Sure.
the town to rally behind this, much
Mhm.
like a movie that would say, I don't know, have a giant spider invading, so to
Yeah.
speak.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Who's to say
it's-
what's the better movie?
Yeah, I'm completely open, you know, in so many ways. So like I say, the film
I'm
was
such a
shot.
fucking dumb donkey. I had to ask if Notre Dame was in Indiana.
I mean, like for me, right? I had to double check, and it's like, and the other thing is like, yeah, it's that when it's Huntingburg, Indiana, is where it's set. Huntingburg's a real town, you know, and it's shot there, it's set there.
It's based on a true story.
Yeah, right. And then it was a $6 million set in Palmdale, California, with a couple of experiences in Toronto. But the kind of thing that they like, all right, no, we're going to go to Indiana and shoot it in a town. We're actually going to name it after the town. And there isn't actually a major dam nearby. There are two reservoirs. You know, that would have been kind of interesting if there was like a tempting.
They just straight up
tempting-
exploded down. Like, do you imagine Christopher Nolan doing that? He's like, all right, listen, you guys really want to live in this town anymore? Because
Yeah,
I'm gonna detonate a
It's
bomb
good.
and blow this fucking down.
And before you say no, just think how sweet it's gonna look on camera.
So yeah, no, mate. I mean, like, it's not like they didn't invent an imaginary town
Right.
in Indiana and then shoot it in, wherever. Like,
But
say,
does it love Indiana?
right? But like, say, we were like talking about Dante's Peak and how
Yes.
it, like,
Yeah.
it invented a town and invented a
Right.
place and it shot it in another state, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah, I mean, this is it's hard for me. Hoosiers is such a it's like it's almost the one that people are like, well, if you're doing, you've got to do Hoosiers.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then the coincidence of it being the exact same sort of stuff. But like I said, I think the cherry on top for Rudy is Notre Dame. And then I just love the Hard Rain. Just if you want to talk about an underdog story, Hard Rain is the underdog.
Well,
It was
right.
the underdog of a movie when it came out. It's
Hard
the
Rain is the Rudy
of this exactly.
Yeah.
And so,
Oh my
guys,
God.
Hard Rain. Hard Rain.
I am not
Hard Rain.
opposed.
Yeah.
I mean,
Slow clap. Slow clap.
Hard Rain. 2 syllables. I could still do this. No,
Black Rain. Oh shit.
Forces of nature.
yeah. Our brains are working great. No, I one thing I will say is I think, especially when it comes to Hoosiers versus Rudy, they're very, very similar in terms of the things that make them very Indiana centric.
Yeah.
I would definitely give it to Rudy over Hoosiers because we don't usually grade movies on this criteria. Rudy is the better movie. Like, undeniably the better movie with a lot of the same ingredients. So I'm very comfortable saying Hoosiers is out of the equation here.
Yeah.
And it's between these two.
I'll
But
agree.
wasn't Hoosiers was also God, I do not remember the year of that.
Oh,
It was-
Hoosiers was set in like the 50s, and it's like
Right.
that because it's an all-white basketball team doing very well.
Right. Yeah.
that is true.
Yeah.
To be fair, Hard Rain has 2 black actors in it.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
congratulations.
Right,
Yeah.
at least.
Progress. They're both bad guys,
Yeah.
but progress. Yeah.
Well, I think that Rudy only has the one. No,
You got the captain. Yeah. You got
Right,
a few
There's
going.
there's a football player and
Oh, right.
And you
Okay.
got exactly,
All right.
and you got his best buddy.
Interesting.
But
Yeah,
no, like
I mean,
honestly, look, I'm with
for-
Will.
yeah,
Rudy is
I'm-
quite clearly.
For me, like when I think, and it's not often like we run into this like with certain movies, like Indiana is just your brain automatically goes Hoosiers, at least for me. So by that logic, I think it should be automatically disqualified. and Hard Rain, it is.
And
I am not
look,
turning down Hard Rain.
Neither am I, because
It's just gonna be funny when we come back around next year and
Well,
be like,
no,
how the
no,
fuck
no.
did we pick Hard Rain?
because I'm gonna what I'm gonna sort of say. I'm gonna give you some examples of why I think it sort of thematically fits with some of the choices that we've made. Because you're right, for a lot of people, when you say Hoosiers, I think Indiana or Indiana Hoosiers, right? But then because of doing this podcast, if you say the Wraith is the only thing I think for Arizona. If you say Arizona, the only thing I think of is
Well,
the
our
Wraith.
brains are broken.
If
Yeah.
you say Hawaii, it is hard ticket to Hawaii. If you talk about a movie set in Florida, the first thing I say is Miami Connection. But there are like it's movies that have come out of nowhere and surprised us. I'm pretty sure we did the same for Hundreds of Beavers, right? It was like, no, it's
Yeah.
clearly going to be Hundreds of Beavers because that movie is the greatest movie ever made. So the thing is, I never would have, 1, predicted that I would have enjoyed the movie, and 2, as much as I did, and 3, for it being such a surprise that I kind of want, like I said, Will's right. Hard Rain is the Rudy of this particular story.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
I think the satisfying ending for everybody
It's-
is that we carry Hard Rain up on our shoulders.
Yes.
It'll be the first movie in history.
Conversely, had you guys both seen this movie like back in the day, there's no way you would have picked it.
I don't doubt you, because
Probably not.
like, where did this movie come from for me? Like, what is this? Like, why is this movie good? Why is this?
It's
movie
like when
still
you
good?
get the
Right.
one curly fry in your bag of fries, and you're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
That's a
Like,
really
what a-
good. Fucking,
What a day. Yeah.
you're bang on though, because you get that moment of going.
It's
I
like
should've
the
got
extra
curly
it's
fries.
the extra nugget.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
oh wow, this was a real treat.
So
I
you know
agree.
what?
let's carry Hard Rain over the grave of Siskel and Ebert.
Yeah, yeah. Let's
All the
go
way to the finish line.
We're gonna drag it across. That's
There
what we're
is
gonna
that scene
do.
in Hard Rain when they're driving back through the fucking
Yes.
cemetery, and
That's what we're doing. We're
the
carrying
science
it
guy's
off the
like,
field
oh, you know,
in our boat.
whenever there's a flood, they'll the fucking graves because they're basically bubbles, and they just burst up the top. I'm like, Jesus Christ, why do you know that?
That's a
I
weird
wonder why
thing,
you were
isn't it?
fired.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. He's really good with a shotgun too. A lot of troubling things about that guy's character, which I'll get
Yeah.
into on my immediate rewatch of our new champion for the state of Indiana is quite obviously Hard Rain. It came out in 1998.
It puts the hard R in Hard Rain. Nope, nope.
That's not
Hold
going to
on.
work.
Wait. No.
But this movie, it's great. It's Morgan Freeman, Christian Slater, Randy Quaid, Minnie Driver, Ed Asner, Betty White. It's fun. Stuff blows up. It's surprising. It looks great. You're gonna have a good time, and it's like I think we are finally giving Hard Rain the credit that it deserves. In fact, I can't wait to make a video about this one. Going, no, you guys,
Yeah.
everyone's been sleeping. You've got to check this movie out because it rules. And I will make sure to tag Morgan Freeman and tell him.
Imagine he tweets at us like the director
Cease and
of,
desist.
like
Stop it.
the director of Ghost in the was it Ghost in the Shell? No,
No,
not
Ghost in the
Shell. Is it
Machine.
Ghost in the
Yeah,
Machine.
yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, that's
She was
right.
like, she was like, "Thank you for watching the movie," and she's awesome.
I'm so glad they discovered my water movie.
But yes, I forgot that it was directed by oh my God, what's his name? You're doing a perfect impression of him.
Oh, Werner Herzog.
Yeah. The rain
That's-
must be harder.
Soft rain does not help during a robbery. Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I love it when you guys do Werner Herzog. It's always so good. This is why you fail. Anyway, yes, the champion. It's Hard Rain, guys. We're doing it. It's official. It's done. That our new champion here is Hard Rain. But it does beg the question: is what were some of the other movies that we could have picked for Indiana? We've already hit some of the big dogs when it comes to this particular state, though. This is a state that, like, we were looking, there are still other ones out there. I think the one that you were surprised about, Ryan, is a certain Christmas themed movie.
The Christmas Story 2. Well, it's so funny.
that's the first
I think last year when we were doing this exact same thing, we pulled up the Christmas Story, but there's a lesser known made for TV sequel to A Christmas Story. I think I believe it's called It Runs in the Family with I think Charles Grodin's in it. That I just only remember seeing on television. It's Charles Grodin, Mary Steenburgen, I believe.
Oh yeah,
and
it sucks.
I think the guy that plays Otho from Beetlejuice is up in there too. I forget his name, but
jeez,
I was gonna pick that over A Christmas Story because no one has seen that movie, and it is not great.
There is the 1979 Breaking Away, another sports movie. This one, I think it may even be another true story, but it's about
Is it a hockey movie?
It's a bicycle movie, but it's got, like, the first guy, I don't know who it is, but it's also got Dennis Quaid, Daniel Stern, Jackie Earl Haley et al. In it. So there's like a potential for that one. Like, it's a 70s bike movie, which is out there.
Original Gangsters? Okay.
I mean, we've got Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. We've got Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark. So we got 5 to pick right there. No, there's still
Public
some good.
Enemies, the Michael Mann movie.
Yeah, Sleepwalkers.
Kinsey.
Wait, Sleepwalkers, the Stephen King cat movie?
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Wait,
fuck
what? Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's just only the tiniest bit of incest in that movie.
Okay.
So we gotta
Just
watch
enough
out
to get
for
you
it.
interested.
Yeah, no. So I think we could maybe go a little. There's like I said. So we got Pam Grier movie, Original Gangsters, from '96. I'm interested in that one. Kind of
Fred Williamson too. Yeah.
That would be kind of
hell yeah.
I'm open to it. Oh my God,
Over
there's
the
so many
Hedge?
sports movies. Like, this is another one, Madison, the story about a man's personal struggle to victory, spoiler alert, in the 1971 Madison, Indiana hydroplane regatta. There's a lot of sports movies out of Indiana. You guys like your sports out there. So yeah, look, we've got some good stuff. But I mean, honestly, you're going to have to bring a pretty good game to take on Hard Rain.
Yeah.
Because, nothing.
If you're gonna come, you better come hard.
Like the
We'll edit that out.
Yeah, I'll edit that into the promo
God
for
damn
this
it.
particular one because this movie ripped. So the question though, guys, is where are we going next week? We've had such a good week. We've got to keep this momentum going.
We are going to Idaho,
Oh, never
right?
mind. Well,
Yeah.
okay.
Well,
Um,
shut it down.
or Napoleon Dynamite 2.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
Napoleon
God.
Dynamite crushed on that one, and a
Yeah.
lot of people say it is the definitive movie. So it's going to be
Yeah.
a very, very, very tricky attempt of trying to dethrone it. But we have picked one movie that I've heard about my entire life and never seen and always been interested in, and another one that I just wish stars someone that I just really enjoy. So, Ryan, do you remember the sort of deeper cut Gus Van Sant movie that we've gone?
Bowling for Columbine. Nope, it's um,
My own.
My own private Idaho.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's River
Starring-
Phoenix, Keanu Reeves,
Yeah.
absolute sort of just peak sort of teen sex symbols. Kind of did this movie that everyone's like, have you seen this movie with the guys in My Private Idaho? Haven't seen it. Heard good things
Does
about
Herbert from Family Guy say that to you? Is that what you're
it. It's such a good.
Oh my
It's
God.
got all the young boys in this movie.
You
All
guys
right.
wanna suck on my lollipop?
You guys want to
alright.
come over and watch Ben-Hur in 4K?
Oh, Ted, you're stunning.
So good. So My Own Private Idaho is a 1991 movie. I'm looking up. It does say it's on the Criterion Channel.
Fancy. Along with Ricky O.
Though, yes, so exactly. It's in the same level as Ricky O. Most places, it's available for rent pretty much anywhere for $3. It would be one of those ones. Again, go looking on YouTube. You'd be surprised the ones that you can find there. And then the other movie that we're doing, I sort of just heard about it a little bit, but Will, like I said, as soon as you said the star, I'm like, yep, let's do it. Sounds fun because I like her. She's just fun. What's the movie?
Aubrey Plaza classic, The To-Do List. I really think it's funny. I think it's a good movie. Bill Hader's also in it. He's phenomenal.
Yeah, 2013's got pretty good reviews. Looks like apparently it's pretty funny and it's set in Idaho, so I'm happy about that one. In this particular case, it says it looks like it might be available on Paramount Plus.
So you won't be able to watch it.
Yeah. After I cancel my subscription to that particular place that's sucking right now. It says it's also available on Fubo TV and it's available for free on Canopy as well. So next time around, we'll be heading to Idaho to topple Napoleon Dynamite, unless they've got a hard rain, with My Private Idaho or the To-Do List outside of that one, guys. Put those movies on your to-do list. Don't forget though, if you are watching it, thank you very much, on YouTube and you haven't subscribed, the question is why. Do us a favor as well, get involved, get in the comments, give us recommendations or send us comments as you often do on Facebook. Our Facebook page, The United States of a Movie, or the direct messages that you send us on Instagram are always great. If you want more from me, you can find me as That Englishman in Texas everywhere except for Facebook. You can find me as Ollie Pettigrew, where I'm often talking about Texas, but do like to talk about movies. You can find Will as Entitled Millennial, especially on Instagram and TikTok. He has an insane movie knowledge, a massive movie collection, and he really does like to get into interesting and esoteric. I feel like I'm always learning something from Will. Ryan has incredible movie designs, incredible designs in general. If you want to see some classics from Heat, redesigned movie posters, things like that, you can get those. He's also got some great Ayrton Senna stuff that's constantly being pulled down. And you can find some of his best designs being sold by other people on Walmart and Amazon because they steal all of his stuff.
That's the mark of a true artist.
There
you
you
know?
go.
That's right.
It's fine, but you can find him as Rhino Digital, Ryno Digital. Outside that one, guys, like I said, heading to Idaho next week, but thanks for joining us this week. I hope you enjoyed it like we did. This week was a banger. So from me, Ollie, from Will, and from Ryan, thank you very much for joining us for this episode of the United States of a Movie podcast. Rudy.
Rudy.
Hard rain.
Hard rain. At least we didn't say black rain this time.
Oh,